first.
Okay, that means I start best of the decade.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
That's fair. That's super fair. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay, let me. Sorry, I gotta go.
I think it was me. So
No, it's the desk. But it's the only problem with it. So otherwise it's great.
Okay. My number 10 went back and forth on 2 movies, but I settled on one after thinking about it long and hard. So my number 10 of 2019 is The Farewell.
Yeah.
it's a great movie.
Written and directed by Lulu
Wang.
Thank you. Lulu Wang, and it stars Awkwafina, and it's about this young Chinese American woman who finds out that her grandma has cancer, and the family has decided not to tell her, but have decided to put on this wedding to go visit her one last time. Awkwafina is not invited because she'll get emotional, but she ends up deciding to go anyway.
She crashes. It's Wedding Crashers 2.
It is. And
Wedding Crashers 2, My Dying Grandma.
And it's just a tremendous. It's technically based on Lulu Wang's life. She had this instance with her grandma. Her grandma just found out about it because of these reviews recently.
Oh, the grandma's still alive.
Yeah, she.
The grandma.
Fuck.
No, I mean in real life.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay. I mean,
they kind of say that at the end of the movie.
My bad. Fuck, I didn't.
No,
I'm so
I
sorry.
expected that the movie still
This
could
is
have been.
bizarre.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
okay.
actually at 156 for the year. I never logged The Farewell.
You motherfucker. So you beat Shelby.
I beat Shelby, apparently.
So,
Text her right now. Tell her.
Will. So I think it's wonderfully directed. The ensemble is terrific. The actress playing the grandma is tremendous.
So good.
Like it has these great instances of comedy, and then pulls your heartstrings within seconds of that comedy. It's just, it reminded me of my relationship with my grandma, and I think that's what a lot of people take away from it, is like their relationship with their grandparents, and like being able to have that goodbye with them. And again, it's just a wonderful little film, and I think it's definitely one of the best films of the year. And the other film that was in contention with this was 1917. It was back and forth, but this film is just has a lot more going on in terms of like
which nobody can see 1917 yet, because it's
I can't see it yet, guys.
Me either.
It's not fair.
I haven't seen it either.
I got 1917 in the car.
I'm not a big dick screener boy, so I don't
just
watch.
You can download this
magical
bullshit.
movie, boy.
Yeah.
Figured you had your ways.
No, I really don't, honestly. Unless I can rent it off Amazon, I really have no way to.
No, unless you're in SAG or WGA or DGA or whatever. It's like, it's bold.
I'm shifting my top 10 as we're talking.
Are you?
I think we do this every year.
I did a little bit last year, I remember.
I did it with my decade. I made it like 2 days ago.
I'm pretty happy with
I made it like 2 days ago, and then I went in and I was like, and I like shifted.
Yeah.
Like no different movies went into my decade,
just
but I
like
just
them
shifted
around.
the order.
It's tough. We'll get into
Alright.
it too.
Yeah.
But love Lulu Wang's The Farewell.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. What's your number 10?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized I got to change the title to worst. Or no.
Best.
Movies. Okay. My number 10, which I just decided.
Of course, happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
Also, breaking news: Christian Bale might be in Thor: Love and Thunder.
I would love that.
That's a great decision. Put Christian Bale in more of everything. That's always a good
I agree
decision.
with that.
Okay, shit. You know how it is. 11 and 12 are also great. 13's great.
Yeah, I
but
can't believe I forgot to log The Farewell. That's bizarre.
That's wild.
I know. All right.
fuck. All right, now I'm just gonna go with what I got. You know,
just go for
the
it.
number 10 movie is Spider-Man.
I knew it.
It's a great movie.
I knew it was between that and something else.
Yeah, number 10 is Spider-Man.
It was in my top 10 for probably like a few months after it came out. It was my number 10.
Yeah, it's by no means a top tier Marvel movie. I would say it's mid to like a little bit above mid tier.
Yeah.
Those movies are great though, because the Spider-Man movies are great because like even if you're exhausted with the superhero genre, which I know you probably are not, but You might be a little bit.
I'm closer than I've ever been. I'm getting there for sure.
But like, I forgot for like 40 minutes in Spider-Man Far From Home that it was a Spider-Man movie.
Right?
'Cause
Exactly.
I was just like, they're having such a great time in Italy.
You don't put on a suit for a while,
Yeah, like the one, man, all the fucking kid and teenage actors, or I guess they're not actually kids, they're 20s, they're in their 20s.
Right.
The actors playing kids, they're so fucking believable, and they're so charming, and like...
Ned's great.
Ned and
Ned's
his like
phenomenal.
thing with the girl is
Yes,
like, it's so
incredible.
silly, and I just love how silly this movie is.
And you can kind of believe that, like, someone hooking up with someone just for that
Yes.
vacation time, and then it goes back to normal.
Yeah, and I also love that it's, I mean, I don't know what kids talk like today, but I get the impression from... I was in the theater with a bunch of teenagers, and they were fucking laughing their asses off.
Yeah.
Like, and it made me really happy to like actually like look over and see a bunch of kids like relating to the movie. I was like, oh, that's just really nice that like this Marvel movie can actually give something that's very genuine. So yeah, it's just really genuine, and all the performances are great. Jake Gyllenhaal is my lover. I thought his monologue of like when the shield comes down, he's like monologuing to his crew of like,
it's
I did this
incredible.
and I did this. It's like, at first I was like, oh, this is so blunt and blatant. At first I was like, this is not good because it's so blunt. But then I'm like, okay, but another way to interpret it is that it's just so...
It's showmanship.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
He's an
It
egomaniac.
works.
He's so good in
He's
that.
an
He's
egomaniac.
fun. Yeah.
And like, and man, the way the just like the dialogue that he had of manipulating Peter to see him as a father figure, so good. Because I'm like, he is doing a great job being a father. Like, he's so genuine. And
Also,
then,
that one scene where he actually gets to be Mysterio, and the whole insane like hallucination scene
Oh yeah.
is
That sequence is
fucking
great.
amazing.
And you know that entire sequence is 100% animated.
Yeah, I
Oh,
believe
for
that.
sure.
Yeah, it's but it looks great, and it everything flows really well. Yeah. Oh, and I won't spoil the ending, but the way that they end it with him on the billboard, and he's like, the thing he says that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Do you remember that? How
the cameo that came with that.
Yes.
Which
oh my
I was-
god, I forgot about that.
It's a great cameo, and I love that they embraced that. I was
I
like,
agree.
fantastic work there.
I hope that character comes back.
Yeah.
I don't think he will, but I really hope he does. And
It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
Well, for a while we didn't think any of them were gonna come back, so it's
Yeah.
nice to
Yeah.
have hope for another Spider-Man movie in the future.
I think we definitely
And
will.
dude, I mean, look at what Into the Spider-Verse did with its whole like canon of like bringing characters together. Maybe fucking Tobey Maguire will just show up in one of the future movies. That's pretty cool.
I'd be down for a Spider-Verse, Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield,
Oh,
Tobey
yeah.
Maguire.
Well, they
Yeah.
all got talked to about being Into the Spider-Verse.
yeah.
Oh.
And I think
Or I don't know
At
if
least
Andrew
Tobey
Garfield
was.
did, but
Yeah.
I know Toby was, and Tom Holland was like almost in the
Yeah.
movie.
Damn.
That would have been fun.
Well, now that has done well, maybe in the sequel they will actually.
Well, they announced I think 2021 for the sequel.
yeah.
Uh,
So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just all right. Yeah, it's
We
great.
got-
everything about it's super fun.
yeah, it's a
It's
great.
lovely.
It's very cute.
Yeah. Spider-Man.
All right.
Wait. Oh.
My number 10 for the year.
Yes.
Oh, that scene's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right.
And
This
just
movie's great.
And just his like the fact that his Mysterio costume is a fucking mocap
Yeah, it's
suit.
pretty
Like
great.
when they reveal his Mysterio costume and
Yeah.
it's just the giant dome display in
Yeah.
his mocap suit. And he's
It's-
like, you know what? Double it.
It's like
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Double the threat.
Yeah, it's like every major decision they made for the script was ridiculous, and it worked. Like every
Yeah.
decision is great.
Do you want to do an honorable mention for your what you were debating this about?
I'm kind of curious.
Because I'm
My
good.
like 11 through 15.
Yeah.
Or just like
I'll
yeah,
just
we
say
can
really-
do-
yeah.
If you're feeling it, I mean, I already did 1917, so
I'll
Yeah.
say I have 4 movies in particular that I would love to have in my top 10. So I would like to do a top 14. The other 4 are Knives Out,
Yeah.
John Wick 3, Booksmart, and the Woodstock documentary. Actually.
Oh, okay.
Did any of you guys watch that?
I didn't
no,
know.
I'm
Super
familiar with
beautiful.
it though. Yeah,
It's so it's so fucking heartwarming and it's super fascinating.
Yeah.
Like there was so much, like obviously you know that Woodstock was a big deal, but this really puts it in perspective. It goes beat by beat. Here's what happened hour by hour. Here's how many people were. Here's how fucking insane the traffic was. But everyone, and it completely destroyed. Well, not it destroyed the transportation of the community. It was so big that every road in the community was blocked. And if that happened today, people would freak out, and they would go on the street, and they would like call the police.
They wouldn't join the party or anything.
No, exactly. They would get pissed off, and they'd be like, "You're ruining my day." But what happened back then is the entire community came together, and it was like there were like mothers and fathers who were just like baking food and taking it to the kids at the festival because they ran out of food. And like the local hospital was like sending helicopters to help people get in and out, and like actually the members, so there were 500,000 people at this one location, and like it's just so goddamn beautiful because there were like segments of those 500,000 people, and they just like built like tiny villages at the festival.
Nick's gonna drop.
And it was just like all.
Nick's gonna drop to your heart.
It was just all based around like love and happiness, and also I didn't know this, that at that time when Woodstock happened, that was actually the first rock festival in human history. I didn't know that was like the first official one, so obviously that was a huge reason. It was a big deal. So watch it, you guys.
I'll check it out.
It's so interesting
to get around.
Okay, I'm gonna just watch TV shows for a few weeks now that I've probably watched like 19 movies in the last week. So I'm gonna take a breather, but
those are my top 4 that I would want to include, but didn't.
So I'm gonna do that. Honorable mentions. I'm selfish, so I'm gonna do 5 because there's 5 movies that were like in competition for my number 10 spot. The Art of Self-Defense is fucking phenomenal.
Yes,
and a lot of people missed it, so if you didn't see The Art of Self-Defense, you really should because it's a great movie. Knives Out. Uncut Gems. Brittany Runs a Marathon actually really
I heard a lot
me.
about this one. I never got around to it.
And I think it's such a fascinating movie because it's so close to being incredibly like contrived and like every like, oh, I'm gonna get healthy, but it somehow just so justifies and so earns all of the choices that the characters in the movie make that it's like on the verge of being generic, but like it justifies everything so well that you're just like, oh, that was amazing. Also, it's a great follow-up to if you're really depressed after you just watched Joker, and you're just like, I just need to feel good. I just need to feel again. And then Ad Astra is great, but my number 10 of the year, I thought my list was set and my mind was changed about a week ago. My number 10 of the year is Greta Gerwig's Little Women because it's phenomenal.
It's good. It's really good.
The performances in that movie are fucking unreal. Like everybody in that movie kills it. I cried for like 2 hours. I was just actively like, my face was just leaking for 2 hours. Even if I wasn't actively crying, like there was just still like tears streaming down my face. Even if I was just like, I'm fine right now. Like I was still crying. But the chemistry between the leads is so unbelievably good. Timothée Chalamet is great. Like there's not a bad performance in this movie.
Nice.
It's terrific.
Is it Screener Boy?
I saw it 3 weeks before it came out, so you know. Big dick energy here.
Big dick energy.
Wow.
I would say
I really liked it.
I would say standout though. And I might be a little bit biased, but I would say standout. Florence Pugh is fucking
That's
phenomenal.
what I've
in
heard
this movie.
though, and she is wonderful.
She's great.
Florence Pugh just up in here acting circles around everyone. Come on.
I feel like she's toe to toe with Saoirse. Saoirse and her.
Yeah,
like,
Saoirse Ronan's
incredible.
phenomenal
Saoirse
in this
Ronan.
movie.
Saoirse.
That scene's so good where they're
Oh, I
dancing
love that
outside
bit.
of the
Scarlett
ballroom.
cries so much.
Oh yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
literally it's like this is like an embarrassing statement about me, but like this and like the Steven Universe movie are tied for how much I cried this year. So I was just like, what if I just leak all the liquid out of my body for
So-
this
Yes.
entire movie.
I haven't actually seen any of these movies, and so my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that every time this movie comes out, it's essentially kind of a reflection of modern femininity at the time. I mean, obviously, it takes place in the
I would
past.
say the
but-
94 and this one.
So I haven't seen the 94 one. I
Yeah.
haven't read the book. I
Just
literally
this one.
came into this totally blind.
Yeah.
Gerwig, her intention was like, have it be kind of reflective for the
Yeah.
time, but also
Yeah.
kind of comment on the idea of like,
Emma
like,
Watson's really good too.
yeah, and like the idea of like trying to make money as a woman in this world. At that
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah,
it's a lot about
definitely.
that. So
And Chris Cooper's so
Oh, he's
goddamn
great.
good.
He's
in
great.
this movie. He's like the standout. He like comes out of nowhere, and you're like, I'm not gonna care about this guy. And then you're just like, his last scene is gut wrenching.
Oh,
It's
man.
so good.
I would say, without spoiling who does come up in the movie, but the character who plays the actor who plays the father, I'm like, that's a
Oh,
choice.
shit, we
That's a
can see the
choice, but then
father.
it was kind of like you're like, okay, come
I
on.
can-
But then
I-
he like
yeah.
talks, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah.
I mean,
I'm kinda into it.
he does a serviceable job, but I'm like, I have you so ingrained in my mind as this person that it's just so weird to see you in this. But he does a good job.
What do you think's better, this or Lady Bird?
Lady Bird.
Yeah.
Like this is light Greta Gerwig, but it's not. It's she still is like going at like a 10. I just prefer Lady Bird just because
Yeah,
it's,
I
like,
think
so
Lady.
rich.
I agree. I think
Yeah.
Lady Bird's a better
Yeah,
film.
but this is still really good.
it's phenomenal.
Yeah, and I am looking forward to more Greta Gerwig stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
My number
Hit it.
9.
Yeah!
Where's my
I'm
list?
curious how much our lists are gonna.
I'm curious too. I'll be. We'll see where it all.
Yeah.
My number 9 is Portraits of a Lady on
Wow.
Fire. This is a film from France. It is directed by.
And if you're concerned that you missed Portrait of a Lady on Fire, don't worry, it doesn't come out for another 2 months.
Great.
but you can hunt for this fucker online.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you didn't get a
That's
screener.
how-
for
No, that
this.
one-
You
that one-
used nefarious methods to watch Portrait of a Lady on
I
Fire.
use regular methods that I've done in the past before, so it's
We
totally
need
fine.
we need a better code term instead of nefarious methods. We need something that sounds positive. Because if we say nefarious methods, everyone knows what you're really doing.
Portal to cinema.
I love that.
All right,
I
fine.
used Portal to Cinema. It's just like it's a web app. It's a browser app. It's legal.
So,
You specify that anyway. Sorry. Lady on Fire.
so using the PTC.
Yeah.
This is a film directed by I'm gonna butcher her name, but Celine Sciamma.
Wow, that's how you think it's
probably-
pronounced?
I don't think so. She's a French filmmaker. It's about this artist who goes to this rich house and or mansion, and she is assigned to paint a portrait of a lady who is
On fire.
No.
Actively at all
well,
times.
emotionally she is. But,
Yeah.
But she is going to be wedding this I believe Danish man that she has not met and does not want to wed her. And every time the artist has come to this island to try to paint her, she has refused to be painted. And the artists who have attempted to try to paint her have had no luck. And through their time together, the artist and the fiance, I
Yeah.
guess,
the lady who's actively
Yeah.
burning.
yeah, a lady who's actually burning. So she's acting as a friend, like as a walking friend that was hired by the mother. So just based on just like her memory of the artist's memory, she has to try to paint from her memory the lady on fire.
Right.
And as the movie goes on, they delve into their their kind of friendship and relationship, and things kind of blossom through there. And it's just a very well acted, well articulated, extremely well written film
Yeah.
about kind of like pleasures in life and like just kind of hanging on to that moment. And
This is like several of my favorite critics.
yeah,
This is their favorite film of the year.
Yeah.
I
Seen
thought
that,
about
yeah.
putting it up higher, but it was a tough year. This is a good year for film.
This
and
was a
Yeah.
surprisingly good year.
like
for
the
film.
first half was a little iffy, but it got fucking hot
Yeah.
like summer onwards. So it was this was a very strong contender, and I really, really love this film. And
How do you think this will compare to 2020's Doolittle? He's just not a people person.
fucking every time I see a trailer for Doolittle, I just want to throw up.
I'll
hate
tell
it.
you how it is.
Great.
I'm going.
Have fun.
But sorry, I didn't mean to.
No.
derail it.
I
couldn't help
just
myself.
think of that advertisement is coming up so much that I'm just now getting actively like angry at the movie, and hasn't done anything to me. But it's great. It's a great movie. Love it. Also, Little Women. It's great.
Okay. Am I next?
Yeah, you're next.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, me too, bro.
Yeah,
Feels
for
good.
sure, for sure.
I feel like I'm getting sick, and you guys are gonna get better.
I'm
He's
actually,
been sick too,
I'm
so
actually,
you're fucked, bro.
fucked.
You're
I'm
fucked.
actually
Up and
scared
up
because
and
I am like,
Wow.
so I'm like,
No,
I
it's
should-
good. No, the water helps flush
yeah, you're
things
flushing
out.
your-
You're gonna
Yeah.
get better sooner if you drink more water.
Yeah.
No, I drank 2 of these. Yeah, I spent
Oh,
all day
shit.
in a theater and I drank 2 of these yesterday in
Son
like
of a
4
bitch.
hours.
I'm always really good about when I get sick. Like if I'd been kind of eating crappy before, I will just immediately swap and just eat like veggies, fruit, and like a little
good
bit
man.
of bread. And it makes, at least psychologically, it makes
Yeah.
me feel like I'm
It's-
getting healthier.
It's good.
It was
Yeah.
it was so satisfying though being in a theater for Frozen 2 yesterday and just being like for once I'm the one who's gonna get all you little fucks sick. Like just in a theater full of kids like I'm the sick one now and then I just
You
open mouth
fuckers.
cough.
Yeah, you like turn around and cough up the aisle.
I just go
yeah, haha.
All right.
yeah,
Okay.
gotcha you little bastards. Frozen 2 is pretty good.
It's definitely on number 6.
Oh, good.
Is it?
Nice.
3 stars. Your number 6 best movie.
Hey man,
Damn.
tough year.
Yeah, big flag tough year.
Had to do a lot of personal thinking.
Okay, that makes sense. My number 9 favorite movie of the year was one that super caught me by surprise.
Give me a 3.5.
Was Triple Frontier.
Oh baby, it's a like a
It is
good
It
movie.
is. It is shockingly great. I would
It's
say.
good.
Yeah, I'm really upset because I had the option between watching Triple Frontier and watching Six
Oh,
Underground
you
a
should've
few
done
days
that.
ago. And
I mean,
watched
you gotta see both of those though.
Yeah.
Those are both equally important for different reasons.
I
opening-
watched Six Underground.
Good. That's good. I'm
The
glad you saw
opening
that.
scene in Triple Frontier with Metallica playing is incredible.
Remind me, what is the opening scene?
This
I
is
saw,
they're
like-
flying over the village and like Metallica's
Yeah.
just ripping it and Oscar Isaac's just hanging outside the
Right.
fucking helicopter and it's just fucking macho.
Yeah.
I fucking love that
Yeah,
movie.
but yeah, and
Ben Affleck.
oh yeah, right. It's one of his best performances, and he's always
love
been
it.
a pretty one note, never a bad actor.
Yeah.
But a pretty one note actor, and yeah,
Yeah,
his
it's
range in here is
incredible.
better.
I'm so happy it's on your list.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah. So yeah, to continue what you just said
Yeah.
about how it opens up with Metallica,
It's-
helicopters.
yeah.
It's like the rugged,
Yeah.
kind of misleading, super testosterone induced idea of what it means to be a strong, capable man. And then they take that concept and they're like, "Fuck off with that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Life is not like that."
Yeah.
And like the whole, just the whole. I mean, for people who haven't seen it. Basically, it's about 4 or 5 former soldiers, right? Four former like special ops soldiers who
Oscar
Pedro
Isaac,
Pascal,
Charlie Hunnam,
Charlie
right?
Hunnam.
And Ben.
I thought that was one more.
I think there is one more.
there is one more. Isn't it what? There is one more. Who is the fucking?
Well, not all of them,
oh yeah.
make it.
But what
Sure.
what the fucking the little guy? I
You
think.
could put the trailer on. That might.
Yeah.
Yeah,
God
that's good.
damn it! I got too excited. Okay,
there is
yeah,
5 of them.
that'll refresh my memory.
Garrett.
Garrett
Hedlund.
Hedlund. Yeah, Tron guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
This movie
yeah.
slap. It's a slapper.
Yeah, so I just love how fucking bleak this movie is, and I love that it takes the concept of 5 former soldiers who want to do some genuine good in the world,
Yeah.
but it gives it that brutal reality check of like, dude, this is not how the fucking world works. Are you kidding me? Yeah, everything about it is just so like
Yeah.
intriguing, and obviously the setup is super high stakes. They have to abandon their lives. They're kind of like, we can never go back to our regular lives after this. And
Would you say that they have to die and be born again as numbers?
I mean, well, they were already soldiers, so I think you already do that when you become a soldier, probably.
No, I'm saying, did they actively have to fake their own death, and then they're
Oh.
like watching their funeral
No,
through binoculars?
Oh,
I
this is
think they
Six
did that.
Underground.
And then Ryan Reynolds.
Oh
is
god damn it. Okay.
I was like,
Fuck.
how
I know everything
Well, it's because
about
that
you.
sounds like every movie, so I thought you were just referencing every
No,
movie.
I was specifically
But as soon
referencing
as you started
this.
describing it, I picked it up and was like, oh, but that's also every movie.
Yeah, that's funny. That's a great.
Triple
okay.
Frontier, man.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot really for me to say about it. All the performances are wonderful. And
Yeah.
God, the scene where they're pulling the money out of the wall
It's
and they're
incredible.
arguing about
Yeah.
like we need to go.
Yeah.
That scene, I'm like, holy
Yeah,
fucking
it's
shit.
crazy. I might rewatch it. It's
Side
so
note
good.
on that, I don't
Yeah.
think this is on anyone's list, but how good is the scene from El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, where he's tearing apart Todd's apartment trying to find the money?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that whole movie.
Sorry, Kaylin.
Oh yeah, she's only
I'm
halfway
good.
through Breaking Bad, so no
Oh.
spoilers on El Camino.
Sorry,
But
I'm
mi-
late.
minor
Way late on the
spoiler,
game.
tiny little spoiler in El Camino is there's an explosion that happens
Right.
near the end of the film, Gold Star of the Year. The
I don't
explosion-
remember that explosion.
That explosion
My-
felt so real and awesome, and I was like,
Oh,
"This is
yeah.
awesome." This is
Vince
Gold Star.
Gilligan, man.
My
He's-
gold
he's
star,
all about keeping
my
it real.
gold star of the year is 100% Gus the theater cat licking
Great.
milk out of a
Jesus
saucer in the
Christ.
back.
That's actually a cute part of the musical, and it was just a really weird.
It was really
The Cats is
disturbing.
overrun.
We're gonna keep talking about cats this whole review. It's gonna keep.
I don't
going
think
on.
you
Thinking about it.
I literally had to accept that I have. Here's the thing: is in 2 days I saw Uncut Gems, which is one of my favorite movies of the year.
Of course.
And I saw Cats, and I've maybe thought about Uncut Gems 3 times after watching it. I think about Cats every day.
Yeah, it's haunting.
It really seems like people, like genuinely though, I haven't seen
When
it
you
yet,
go
but it
to
seems like people are
Wikipedia-
really
The
have that
veil,
reaction.
the veil has lifted, and we now see the world for what it
Well,
truly is.
I'm surprised you haven't
So
seen.
Oh
the
shit!
theaters.
So just
Yeah,
I see it with
I-
Kate.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know
gonna
if
see it
you
every time I
parked
can.
close,
Yeah.
but there's
What if
2-hour
not?
parking.
So
in-
I don't. So no one really checks, right?
Not
Honestly,
really.
I've never seen a single ticket on
Sick.
any car
I got a
here
ticket
ever.
once.
I mean, I'm
I've
down to
never-
go.
It's called
I'm
with
down
my
to run down and
I
car.
don't
check.
think I've ever
3
even
months.
seen a cop drive down our road.
Yeah.
All right, then I'm not even gonna worry about.
I'm not gonna worry
'Cause
either.
I
Cops
go.
don't come.
I go to a rock climbing gym 2 blocks away, and I've never had a ticket. And I'm in
yeah.
there for like 4
Oh,
hours. And
That
it's
place
just-
is cool.
It is cool.
You know what? 2020. Fuck it. I don't care. It's fine.
Yeah,
that's
burn
my.
the
That's. I'm
world.
bringing
It's
the.
fine.
I'm bringing my Ricky Gervais energy today. So
Right.
Oh,
it's fine.
great.
It's
That's
fine.
a great energy to have.
All right.
Okay, yeah, but Triple Frontier, yeah, it's really excellent. You gotta see it.
Yeah, I'll
It's,
check it out.
There's the scene that was. Oh yeah.
I definitely
It's
wish.
so good.
I definitely
It's just
wish
so
I had
brutal.
watched this instead of 6 Underground.
Yeah, you should for sure.
This was actually one of those movies where it's just a movie that I was like, I'm just gonna put something on, and
Yeah.
and,
Well, it
and then I
dropped in
just
like it
loved
dropped
it.
in like late January on Netflix, so I was
Yeah.
kind of like,
Fuck you, this
This-
January movie.
I was kind of
Oh,
like,
yeah.
this might be a little bit of a stinker, so I
Yeah.
never watched it. But then, yeah.
That's a good
Yeah,
cast.
so yeah, Justin or
Good.
Matt.
My 9th favorite movie of the year is Olivia Wilde's directorial
Yeah!
debut, Booksmart, because it fucking
Booksmart!
rules.
Yeah, it does.
I watched this movie and I was like, oh, this movie's pretty good. And then I got like halfway through it and I was like, maybe this movie's great. And as the movie ended, I was like, I'm in love with this movie. I saw this movie 3 times in theaters.
Oh.
I fucking love this movie. It's so good. It's just like, it's again one of those movies where it's kind of like, I'm so excited because I feel like this has been a big year for kind of starting to revive genres that have died a little bit by bringing new original ideas to them. And this is just such a great coming of age comedy, and it's just like, it has so much heart, and and the movie's structured in such an interesting way because the first 35 minutes of it is just introducing like every side character, and you're kind of like, why are they doing this? And then you get like 70% of the way into the movie, and you're like, oh, it's because literally every single one of these characters is important to this story.
Yeah.
Aside
There's a
from the
payoff,
two of them, almost on equal level. Like it's just such a I think it's one of the most rewarding movies of this year because
Yeah.
you do like go on this adventure with them, and it is like such a fun, engaging experience, and like fucking I mean, Beanie Feldstein's amazing, but she is, I'm blanking on
Caitlin Dever.
Yeah, Caitlin Dever's had a fucking year this year.
Yeah, she's great. Oh yeah, because
what else was
Unbelievable.
she
Yeah, she's in a Netflix show called Unbelievable,
which is
Yeah.
doing the round. She's also in this really interesting religious drama called Them That Follow.
Oh,
That's
I didn't know that.
Oh man, if you're scared of snakes.
Oh, really? What?
It's about this like religious sect of super hardcore Christianity run by Walton Goggins that's somewhere in between like the Westboro Baptist Church and a cult. So they're this like very Christian sect, but they're like, well, the snake cleanses you. So Walton Goggins keeps all these like rattlesnakes and is like putting like,
Wait, is this like based on a true story or something? Or
I don't know if it's based on a true story, but it's like meant to be kind of the like.
yeah, it could happen.
It's an interest. It's pretty good. It's not, you know, the best movie of the year, but like,
But she's great in it.
she's great in it.
Yeah.
Everybody's really. It's a really good movie.
Yeah,
It's just not like this is such a good year for movies. If we're talking like 2016, Them That Follow probably would have been on my top 10, but it just this year was insane.
Shelby, she worked on Outside In, which had Caitlin Dever in it. And at a rap party, Caitlin Dever and Shelby were just hanging out there because Caitlin Dever didn't really know how to interact with anyone, so Shelby and her were just hanging out. So
Yeah.
so
Adam was a background extra in Laggies and
I,
had to ask
I
her
saw
for,
the film. I saw that scene. And
yeah,
I was like,
had to ask her for beer.
Oh really? Oh fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this just reminded me of that the curly-haired girl that she has a crush on.
Mhm.
Which her performance was so adorable and like natural.
Yeah.
Well, obviously all of them were, but yeah, the chick on the right.
Beanie Feldstein.
No,
Can't remember the
Caitlin
Caitlin Dever?
Dever's the
Oh,
the lady
I know
that-
you're talking- yeah.
the skater that
Yeah,
pool
skater girl.
scene.
Oh yeah.
That pool scene's mind-blowingly phenomenal.
Oh,
Yeah.
when she's just like swimming through and all
Yeah.
the camera.
Yeah,
you
just
see
the
all
whole
legs.
scene where it's like the one steady cam shot
Yep.
trailing them all the
And
way.
there's like people making out and
Oh.
It's good. It's
yeah,
good.
yeah, I love
Yeah.
yeah, that scene. It's like it's like an embodiment of like just that emotional experience of like going to a huge party and not having that experience before. And being
Yeah.
like, holy shit, this is insane.
If you had to ask me what film best represents like the young talent that we have now that's like really gonna make a name for themselves, it's either this, because I think everyone in it's phenomenal, or weirdly enough it's actually like the Netflix original film Let It Snow, which isn't very good, has this like insane cast.
oh, okay.
Because it's, it's ridiculous. It's like this huge cast of like who's who in terms of like young adult talent right now.
Nice.
We're getting that new wave of new talent coming in. So.
Yeah, but this movie just like, it's just such a refreshing movie, and it's so funny.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's fucking.
Oh yeah,
seamless.
Will
Yeah.
Forte.
Oh yeah.
I forgot he
It's a
was so
slapper.
bad.
It's a slapper.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Me and Justin saw it on my birthday.
Yeah.
Actually, it was my second time seeing it. But
My
me-
first time. I was stoked about it.
Yeah.
We saw that in John Wick 3 the same day. I think.
We did. We saw
It was a good
that.
day.
John Wick 3 Parabellum, and then I think
You went to go do something else tonight.
No, I went to go see another movie. I went to go see Longshot, I think.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Because
Longshot.
I think I went to Leavenworth afterwards.
Yeah, you went to Leavenworth, and yeah, I think I did go see Longshot.
Yeah, because I don't know what. No, we were talking about Ma at that point. Whatever. Yeah. That sounds about right.
Don't let Ma drink alone.
She never says "you a dog" in the movie. We were so disappointed when she didn't say that.
I was too, actually.
But you were telling us that.
That when somebody told me,
Oh, I was. So you were told. I thought you had seen at that point.
no, I don't think I
Fuck.
had.
Okay.
But she does
We had
100%.
high expectations.
She
dude.
does 100% put dog
Oh,
blood into a
Yeah,
man.
it's wild.
The movie Ma's buck wild.
It's wild.
And not very good and kind of upsetting. But
My number 8.
yeah, Ma,
You a dog.
get home safe.
My number 8 is Marty Scorsese's The Irishman.
Oh my god!
Or as he seems to like, he's been pushing this agenda. Like he wants it called "I Painted Houses." So I heard he painted houses.
That's a good title.
I like that title better. But The Irishman, about the life and crime career of Frank. Forgetting his name.
So-
Frank.
Sheeran.
So
Fucking
he's a
sorry,
real
Frank
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He worked.
yeah.
He was the guy that might be responsible for capping Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the context of that is that up until I believe it was like 2014 or 15, or maybe it was 2004. So one of
Yeah.
them released a book.
Yeah.
In which Frank Sheeran did not write the book,
But
but someone
he-
else wrote a book, and in that book, they claimed 100%. I know Frank Sheeran did all these things, or did this thing,
Yeah.
and
It was
and so
100% he
it
off Jimmy Hoffa.
and it makes the most sense. Yes,
Yeah.
and the way the movie presents it is very clear and logical. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a lot to say about this, but you
Yeah.
go ahead.
So and I'll be light since it'll probably pop up on maybe on either of your guys' lists.
Yeah, it's not on mine. But,
Okay, but still, I'll save it. I'll save a good chunk of it. But for the most part, it's about it's going through I think 4 or 5 decades with these guys. It's it's tremendous performances from the 3 leads. Like Robert De Niro is very good, and I think he's tremendous in the last 30 minutes of the film.
oh yeah,
It's
he's
so
I
goddamn
mean,
hard.
this
Yeah.
movie is the last 30 minutes
Oh
of
yeah,
this movie.
because
Like,
the movie's 3.5 hours long, and sometimes
sure fucking is.
and when you have an epic like that on your hands, I think the ending really has to pay off. Like the journey is important, but the journey is rewarded with like how the last 30 minutes of this movie plays, and just kind of like how heartbreaking it becomes when you see Frank's final like days in those last 30 minutes.
Robert De Niro's face acting is so fucking heartbreaking.
He's
in
so
this
great.
movie.
He's
Like,
so great in
oh my
this.
God.
And like Joe Pesci is like going against type and just being very like a quiet.
yeah, Joe
very-
Pesci's just so
Yeah.
like.
My favorite, like, there's 2
I was-
scenes that I love with him. There's one where he's talking about like Jimmy Hoffa's kind of like gone off the deep end. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And it's like. It's so intense, and it's like and you see Robert De Niro trying to be like kind of like get away from it a bit, but it's like how Joe Pesci plays that is so fucking. The guy hasn't acted in like 10 years, and he fucking brings it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Al Pacino is like fucking acting as if he's 40. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, and like, I think the most powerful scene in that whole movie is just the scene where the like young Hollywood guy comes in and basically disrespects Joe Pesci, and Joe Pesci just looks at Robert De Niro and it's just like,
Oh yeah.
and it immediately cuts to Robert De Niro like picking a gun to go shoot this guy.
Oh yeah, that whole sequence is great. I mean, every scene had something specific that it needed to tackle, and it does it so well. I think the de-aging is great overall. I think there's a few dodgy moments.
I
but-
think the de-aging's great once they get into middle age. I think it.
the
I
World
think
War
the
II stuff to when he was like kind of like.
I think
Yeah.
the beginning of the movie with De Niro is excessively rough. I
It's a
think
little
trying
rough, yeah.
because the thing is that it's just like Robert De Niro's entire facial structure has changed in a way where like it's impossible to take a scaled face model of Robert De Niro now and
I
try
agree.
to turn it into like 22-year-old Robert
I
De
agree.
Niro.
Yeah.
Because his whole face was thinner
Yeah.
and like, so it kind of like, I think in the beginning it does look like they took like a 40-year-old man and digitally de-aged all his wrinkles and he just looks like a very smooth 40-year-old and it's
Yeah.
really upsetting.
It's mostly the World War II stuff is
Yeah.
where it looks rough. I don't
I
mind
think
him
the-
as the driver when he's the truck driver.
I think that first scene where Joe Pesci has to fix his truck, it's especially bad. But
It
that's-
didn't really get me at
Yeah.
that point. But I can see how like because people feel it in different areas for sure. With like that seems not great, but like I think for the most part overall, like when he's in his like mid to late 30s to all the way
Yeah.
to the end he looks really good.
So they aged him forward at the end, right?
For sure, yeah. So
Which
and
is
that's
funny
easier
because
to
that's
do.
how old he is.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. But and anyway, so like I won't go on too much longer about it, but
No.
it's a great like. We've recently had auteur directors kind of like put out products where it feels like if this was their last thing, this is a great last thing to have. And for The Irishman, it feels so full circle and so well rounded and a great end cap to maybe Scorsese and De Niro's career, or at least their collaboration of this scale.
You think
Yeah.
he's retired? You think he's done?
Who, Scorsese?
Yeah.
No, he has another film he's making with Leo and De Niro.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
the serial killer one.
Yeah, he's doing that, and like I think he's got like 2 or 3 more in him.
I think
And-
Scorsese strikes me as the type of person who will die on set in
Yeah.
a good way.
That'd be great. I'd be
Yeah,
very-
I think
would
he's
never-
gonna have a heart attack
Yeah.
on set and
Yeah.
die probably.
As he's touching
And that'd be
film,
great.
he'll
That's how we should get.
be touching film, and it's like it feels so alive, and then just drop dead.
It feels
It
so.
feels
It feels so alive. Unlike me, I'm now dead. And
he
then
says,
his heart will just stop.
He says it feels so alive, unlike Marvel movies. And then he dies.
Did you hear about what his daughter did?
Yeah, where she
Yes!
just wrapped all of his
I'm
shit
so
in
proud
Iron
of
Man
her.
wrapping paper.
He probably got a kick out of it too.
Yeah.
I think he gets more of a
I
kick
think
out
he.
of it.
I think everybody's. I
Everyone's
think
hard
he's
on him.
maybe.
Yeah.
I think he's maybe also downplaying something that like. Yes, I get that the qualities of the movie isn't always the best, but there's like an insane amount of talent that works on those movies that I think he's downplaying pretty excessively.
yeah.
for sure.
But I think there's also a thing of like, I don't think he meant it as he was just like, they're not for me. I'm Martin
Yeah,
Scorsese.
And I'm
They
like,
were never made for him.
I love 80-hour documentaries about music, and you're just like, all right.
yeah, and I'm like, I don't want to give him the excuse of like he's Martin Scorsese, he can say whatever.
I
he
would
wants,
love
but
to
I'm
believe he's only tried to watch Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Like he was just
No,
like
Thor 2.
Yeah.
I
Thor-
like Thor
oh,
too.
yeah.
He tried to watch Thor
I like
2,
Ant-
not Thor 1.
I like Ant-Man too. I do like Thor too, but I like Ant-Man as well.
Well-
but like,
Really?
The real person we gotta ask is Francesca. She is the key to all this.
Francesca?
his wife.
daughter.
Oh, his daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so once we talk to her, we'll get a clearer picture of like what Scorsese does when he comes home and what he puts on. If he like puts on like fucking The Water Boy, I mean that'll tell us a lot, I think.
I like this Sandler character.
Well, okay,
He's
but-
good. He
but-
makes good stuff.
Well,
Reminds me
now,
of Jacques Tati in,
Now a
Playtime.
combo of Martin Scorsese with Adam Sandler, like considering what the like
But
that
Adam-
he gave in Uncut Gems,
Yeah,
those
yeah,
two
yeah.
together,
I mean-
that would be fucking.
Well,
Look,
that'd be
Sandler's phenomenal in Uncut Gems, and now he's not going to be phenomenal again for 5 years.
He's got to
because
make
as
pixels.
it goes.
That's how it
As it
goes.
goes.
That because Papa's also got to
Papa's
make
gotta
his
go on
money.
vacation. Alright, I'll save more for Irishman later.
Yeah.
It's 3.5 hours. We could talk about it for 3.5 hours.
Great. It's great.
Yeah.
Okay, am I ever mad?
I think
also,
you are.
Also saw this in theaters, which I thought
Oh, nice.
really
I think
helped
that's a
the
good call. I
experience.
watched
Yeah.
it on my phone on a plane.
as Scorsese intended.
As Scorsese intended. I watched it on the display from my microwave.
Oh my
as
god!
Scorsese intended.
And it was beeping the whole time I was watching it.
It actually really built the tension.
Alright.
Oh, my heart can't take it.
I'm moving on.
My heart can't take it.
My number 8 was the director's cut because the only version I
God
saw
damn
of
it.
Midsummer.
Midsummer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait
Hold
to
pause.
talk about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
No, go on.
yeah. I mean,
Honorable mention Midsummer in your top 10 Midsummer director's cut.
I would flip that.
Ooh, okay.
oh, okay.
Let's get into Nick, get into it.
Yeah. I mean, what's not been said about it? I don't have a whole ton of thoughts.
Look,
I think that
Florence
the whole
Pugh's ass up in here, killing it.
yes, correct.
Come on.
Yeah. I
All right,
really,
that's all. I'm not. Go ahead.
I think the one thing that right here, what they did with this scene and their relationship, I don't think I've ever seen done in a movie in that way, where it's such a brutally direct and realistic portrayal of a guy in a relationship who just doesn't understand and doesn't really care to change himself, of like the functionality of just being a good sympathetic person.
Yeah.
And it's like everything about his awfulness is like, it reminds me of like myself when I was younger, and like the when you're in a bad relationship, you make bad decisions. And,
Right.
But obviously, this is a hyper extreme version
So,
of that.
right.
And Yeah, so everything about that, and I feel that this whole movie was very much so just kind of an allegory for a gaslit relationship.
Yeah.
And just and also it's also about the specifics of what it is to be a woman in a gaslit situation, because I think it's a different kind of experience when it's a woman gaslighting a man and a man gaslighting a woman. Obviously, the emotions are the same, but like the way it happens, and so all just the intricacies of showing him being so terrible and weak and just such a fucking hateable person, and how that kind of is just an allegory for the whole movie. I fucking loved it. So
what's so fascinating about this movie is that I think you've only seen the director's cut, apparently, which is hog wild. You've only seen the theatrical cut.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
the only one who's seen both.
Ooh,
and what I find so fascinating is I think your take on how that scene plays and how the movie plays is so much more accurate to the director's cut than it is to the film, because that argument scene that you pointed out is cut in half in the movie.
Oh,
that's an incredibly important scene.
So it is an important scene. It does get the point across, but what kind of happens in the theatrical cut that's so fascinating is you get the sense in the first half of the film that he's just kind of
a prick.
Just kind of dumb.
Well, in the first half of the film, you just kind of get the fact, you get this point that he's like almost just like negligent out of stupidity, and you really don't start to see the like venomous nature of who he is until about halfway through the movie.
Okay.
And in the director's cut, it's very apparent from the beginning.
You hate him immediately.
Yeah, so there's 30 minutes of content that's not in the original movie that's in the director's cut. So the entire ritual at the river and the fight that they have, I can't remember before or after, is not in the original film.
At nighttime, where she stops the thing from happening?
None of that's in the film.
Oh. That's also a very important scene.
Yeah. That's what's so interesting to me is that I think the movie works better actually in the theatrical cut, because I can totally see watching the director's cut and feeling like those scenes are incredibly important, but what I find interesting is I found them really extraneous, because I think it gets to the point that and they're all great scenes. Everything they added is
just not as necessary.
Yeah, it's just amazing how necessary they must seem if you've only seen that version of the film.
Right.
And how unnecessary I feel like they are as somebody who has seen both. It's interesting.
Because the idea is with the director's cut, it just shows more that he's just more of an asshole.
It shows him being... So you get a little bit more about who the... There's like 2 or 3 rituals that are added into the director's cut that are not in the original movie, so you learn more about...
Which is nice, because I wish there was more of that.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have watched the director's cut.
It was It was hard to catch the director's cut, which is why I'm so shocked that you
But it's on the Blu-ray, isn't it?
No,
That's the only version I had on Portal to Movies.
Fair enough.
Portal to Cinema.
Oh, shit!
So, the director's cut is actually only available on Apple TV. They signed an exclusive deal.
Yeah.
So the Blu-ray is the theatrical cut.
I'm fine with either or.
Yeah. But it was only in theaters for like a week.
Yeah, I don't remember what I was doing around that time, but I think I was interested.
I think you probably just didn't want to go see Midsummer again.
A 3-hour cut of it. Listen. I'll be the first to say I like it way more than Hereditary. I love Midsummer. I think it's great. I think it's a great coherent.
No,
balance of his art.
I'm not talking about it because or I guess I failed at that, but I'm not. No. I'm not talking about it as much as I would because it is on my list.
Copy.
Right.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
We'll get to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's keep moving. Then.
So my number 7, is it 7?
No, we're at 8 still.
We're at 8. My number 8 of the year is really. I understand why a lot of people can't stand this movie. My number 8 of the year is the movie Climax.
Oh yeah.
And
Yes.
I have so Climax is the I guess story is could kind of be put in quotes. It is the experience of
Another A24. We are popping these out.
a bunch of dancers do this dance rehearsal in the 90s, and they're doing an after party for their dance rehearsal, and somebody drugs the punch with acid. So you're basically watching this collective group of 25 people have an acid trip, and
Great.
it's directed by Gaspar Noé, so obviously the acid trip doesn't go particularly well. And I have maybe had some experience with accidentally getting dosed with acid.
Oh, really?
Dude,
That's, okay.
And I was glued to this. I literally, for like an hour and 36 minutes, I was just like, and I had to pee so bad, and I just like couldn't move. I was just like,
Took you right back.
it's just haunting. It's
Yeah,
a haunting movie, and it's like it or hate it. You have to agree, it's incredibly upsetting.
It's an experience.
Cool.
It is an experience, and I think he does intend to provoke for sure.
Yeah, and I don't like Gaspar Noé as a filmmaker. I don't like him as a person. He's a real sack of shit.
Yeah.
But this movie just really did something to me. I was just... And, like, I didn't have an experience like this movie. Like, it was... You know, it was... Thankfully, I accidentally dosed myself with acid at a party.
you so accidental.
Because I thought that I was eating a weed gummy bear, but it
Oh,
wasn't
no.
a weed gummy
It
bear
was
at
the
all.
weed acid bear.
Yeah, but thankfully
Shit.
I had a friend
Oh,
of
no,
mine be
gummy
like,
weed.
"Oh, you don't know what you just did," and like had experience with, and like took me away and put me in a safe experience. But
Okay,
there's
man.
just
Yeah.
like, there's just something about that like feeling coming up on you, and I think this film really does manage to encapsulate that like. It really puts you in this headspace of this kind of like sick, distorted, like hyperactivity where you're just kind of like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
God. But it's Justin's favorite movie of the year. Yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. It's an experience.
Okay. Yeah, I'm very interested in that. I had heard of that now that you've described it. It
Yeah.
sounds pretty trippy.
It's
Obviously.
something.
Okay.
It is a ride
Cool.
for sure. There's some things that just
Check
like
it out.
feel like an experience more than like
Oh,
you
yes.
to tell a story, and sometimes it's better than a movie telling a story. So it's-
Yeah, this is very much an experience.
Yeah.
I mean, the first 17 minutes of the film are literally just a massive dance number. Because it's them, it's like these professional
on acid.
dancers.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's before they're on acid.
Oh,
It's them
fun.
practicing their dance routine.
Oh, okay.
And I swear it's one continuous shot. Like
I think
it's,
it is.
Yeah,
I
I've
think
it's
heard that,
insanity.
Yeah.
Okay. Hell yeah. That sounds dope. I want to check it.
Yeah.
All right. Rising from the ashes.
Huh?
Coming back strong.
Star Wars.
After a tough year.
Star Wars.
Related to Star Wars is my boy Ryan Johnson's Knives Out.
Knives Out's
Yeah!
fucking phenomenal.
I was extremely pleasantly surprised by
Oh,
how
yeah.
much I love this film.
Yeah, man.
I
It's a whodunit like nobody's ever done it before.
said it better than I could ever.
No, that's the
I-
tagline for the
I
movie.
believe it. I think what's really like what this movie can go into areas where I'm like, I don't know if that's a good idea, but then I think what's really interesting about it is that it's a whodunit, and you find out what happens not too long
Like a
into the movie.
third in the
Yeah,
movie.
Yeah.
like pretty soon, and then it kind of focuses on that, and then it becomes something a bit more, I think, politically themed. And I was like, this is a really fascinating way to kind of tackle this theme and message of the film. And
Yeah.
I love everything about it. I think the direction is really spot on. I love the production design, like the knife. Look at that. like the knives on the wall, the ensemble is incredible. Every actor has like a great moments. Toni Collette's first time I've liked her in a movie.
Ever?
I think so. I have to
she's
rewatch Sixth
so
Sense.
good in The Sixth Sense.
I have to rewatch The Sixth Sense.
Is she the mom in The Sixth
Yeah.
Sense? Oh.
Yeah.
She's phenomenal.
Daniel Craig,
My
Craig in this
favorite.
fucking
As an Alabama man.
But what's her name? The main character
Anna
is
de Armas.
so
She's great.
ridiculously
Yeah.
good.
She's great. I mean, everyone is tremendous in this movie. I love the. Yeah, I just really love how Rian Johnson's writing really entangles the kind of moral and theme of this movie within the story, and it's just so well executed, and it's visually spectacular, and it is. I feel it is predictable, but in a good way, I think. And I think at the end of the day, it's just masterfully made, and is a partial response to Last Jedi, I think.
Of course.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah.
You can't get away from it.
Yeah. I think if Rian Johnson, because like between this and Brick and parts of Looper, I think he does a really good job with the crime mystery kind of storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
He's really good with that. So
Yeah, one of the parts of it that I really adored was how it obviously in the close to the first half we get a presentation of all the characters in the house.
Yeah.
And of course, we are misled to believe that they're all kind of individually nice people,
Yeah.
or at least decent
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And very, very slowly, we get individual lines of dialogue from them, and like facial movements,
Yeah.
and just kind of the way they might gesture to someone. These tiny things that
It's
very
Michael
slowly.
Shannon's character was
It-
upsetting
yes.
to me.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's all about the fact that each one of the three children of the family goes up to her at some separate
Yeah.
point and goes, "We're so sorry, we wanted you at the funeral, but we got
Yeah.
outvoted."
Yeah,
and it's like,
Oh, yeah.
It's a really good, like the way they handle her character in this movie is upsetting but tremendously done. Like the last shot of the film is awesome. So,
yeah, and I think I wasn't expecting the movie to just be as like outwardly funny as it ended
I'm
up.
so happy
Like,
it was.
I didn't, aside from Booksmart, I haven't laughed at anything in a movie in a long time as hard as I've laughed at the moment where Michael Shannon's talking to the grandma, and he's just like, "Grandma, are you hungry? Are you hungry, Grandma?"
At the top of his
And then,
lungs.
just screaming, and then Jodie Foster comes over, and it's just like,
Jodie Foster.
or no, who is it?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Sorry,
thank
I
you.
was trying to go through the cast.
Jamie Lee Curtis comes over and it's just like, "Don't let her trick you. She ate all the salmon dip earlier." I just died laughing at that part. It's so good.
It's really good.
And there's also there's a scene where the family is having like not like a discussion related to the plot. It's like they're sitting in the living room with the fireplace, and the dad is
They're
talking
talking
about
politics.
the girl's like race.
Oh yeah, where she's
and
from.
Where
Yeah.
she's from.
Well,
but it's like they show that scene twice.
Yeah,
and
you
one
see
of
that
them is
scene
from
3
his
different
perspective.
times,
Oh
yeah.
right, okay, 3 times. Yeah.
And
It's like the first time you show it, the conversation is from their perspective, so it's like nice and wholesome and whatever. But then the true side of it is like, oh, this guy's just kind of an ignorant, racist cunt.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
all kind of cunts.
Yeah.
Well, they are not kind of. They are all cunts
Yeah.
in their
Yeah.
own way.
It's
And
so-
the
yeah.
way they slowly feed you
Yeah.
the cuntiness is
Yeah.
like, oh, it's so
Oh,
great.
I would've-
hate them.
I would have watched like an 8-minute long segment of just Chris Evans going, "You eat shit?
Yeah.
You eat
Oh,
shit?
man.
You eat shit."
Oh, I'm so
I'm
happy he
so-
leaned into the villainy of this. And I think
He's so good in
he's
this movie.
really good. And it's
Yeah.
great. It's a great movie. Love
Yeah.
Yep, excellent piece of work.
it. Yeah. Good on Rian Johnson.
Yeah, get that Star Wars shit behind him as quick as possible.
And I'm glad he came back right away with something fantastic. So
Yeah.
he's doing good, I think. He's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Okay, am I next, I think?
Yeah, you're next.
Yeah.
Number 7. The music biopic the Bohemian Rhapsody wanted to be, Rocket Man.
Oh, Rocket
Hey.
Man's so good.
Rocket Man is wonderful. So I actually funnily enough, like when I went into the movie, I knew it was like a music biopic, but I didn't know it was a full-on musical, and so my enjoyment of it like skyrocketed even further than it ever could have.
Yeah.
Like, oh god, all the musical
Pun
numbers
intended.
are like they're just so beautiful to look at. All the choreography is lovely. Taron Egerton is just fucking wonderful. I know, obviously.
Golden Globe winner.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Well deserved. Yeah.
He's so good in this movie.
Yeah. God. Elton John. Obviously, it's Elton John is just such a sweetheart, and Taron Egerton captures that soul. And I know the two of them became extremely close friends in during the making of this.
Well, and I think a nice thing is that Elton John's a sweetheart, but I feel like him and the movie did not pull any punches in terms of the bad things.
Oh
that
yeah,
he
they lean
did,
into that.
Yep.
which is so good. Like, you do watch him kind of fall from fame and kind of fall from it in a way that I don't think any other musical biopic really gives you, because every other musical biopic's kind of scared of showing the bad side of its artist.
Yeah.
But
It's comparable to like it's not exactly the same, but it's comparable to like Walk the Line, where it's like it gives you enough of like the tragedy of the person, and still keep it entertaining.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's all real good. Oh yeah, the scene where he starts floating at the piano.
Oh yeah.
And then where he's in the stadium and he fucking swings the bat. Oh yeah, that thing where he like gets on the piano and swings the bat was like, I think he said it was like his second try, and he just nailed it on the second take or something.
yeah, and that's like the is that the end of Rocket Man?
You mean the song that he's performing?
Yeah, that's my
where
favorite one. Yeah,
he like comes out. I think my favorite one is
this
it's
one's
that
really
one.
good. That one's really
It's,
good.
the
transition from when he was a kid to
Saturday Night's
Yeah,
Alright
yeah.
for Fighting is, and Honky Cat's also amazing.
The whole movie's great. The pool scene's great. It's a
Yeah.
great musical.
I don't
biopic.
have much to say about it. It's just great all the way through. I didn't dislike a single thing about it.
Yeah, some
Not
movies
even
are
close.
just solid
Yeah.
all the way through.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah, it speaks for itself, man.
So good.
It's
I don't know
that
what else to
moment where he
say.
just wants to die and he just goes,
Yeah.
like, there it is.
Yeah.
All right, Matty Rush.
Okay, where am I? Oh, my next, where are we at? 7?
Yeah.
Jordan Peele's Us.
Wow.
Haunted me in a way. Like, there's just something about this movie, and I totally understand that the last act goes off the rails a little bit, but it just never got to the point of bothering me.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just something about the concept of what this movie is about that I don't want to spoil too much, but just filled me with this sort of like existential dread where like even in the comedic parts of the movie where everybody else was like laughing, I was just sitting there like because it's
the whole time.
horrifying.
Yeah.
Like, oh, and she's so good.
Lupita Nyong'o.
Lupita Nyong'o is amazing. I mean, everybody in the cast is amazing, but no.
Elizabeth Moss.
Yeah, Elizabeth
Oh, yeah,
Moss
yeah.
is fucking phenomenal.
She's
in
great
this
in it.
movie.
Her
It's ridiculous.
and Tim Heidecker.
Yeah, Tim
He's
Heidecker.
great.
God, it's such a weird, perfectly
They're a good couple.
cast.
Have you seen this movie?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh sorry. Yeah. So yeah, they're great together. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, everybody in the family is phenomenal. It's just an incredibly good movie.
Yeah.
And it's, I think it's really out of the horror movies that came out this year. It's one of the most that I would constitute still as a horror movie after seeing it that actually did get under my skin and frighten me.
Absolutely.
It's definitely like he's channeling George A. Romero, but doing it in such an effective way that it's quite. I think it's definitely one of those scarier films of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, dude. I mean, everything about like really the physicality of Lupita Nyong'o's
Oh
performance
man,
was
her
the worst part of
voice
it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
is haunting.
But yeah. Oh man, the part at the end where she's like dancing.
Oh yeah. It's good.
And it's all the movements are like so like rigid and frightening and
Yeah.
the idea of like so as I recall the way it is like whoever is up on top down below, that version has to physically do everything that person does,
Yeah.
right? So if that person is like running towards something, but then the person down below has a wall in front of them.
They just run into
They
the
just
wall.
slam into the wall, and it's like, oh my god! And that concept of millions, billions, actually billions of people all having. I mean, it's literal lifelong torture,
Yeah.
unbelievable, unimaginable, nonstop torture, and it's it's on an unfucking precedented level, man.
Yeah.
Christ.
Jordy Peele.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking great movie.
Mm-hmm.
And who doesn't love I Got Five on it? It's a great song.
It is good.
And the remix of it is.
Oh, the remix is
Whoa,
sick.
whoa.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
God, the way he uses music is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, yeah,
gonna
fuck the
pee,
police,
but
yeah.
you can go into your...
Or number
Well,
6.
And that's, like, the main thing that I remember from Get Out is
Yeah.
just the, like, a mind is a terrible thing
Oh,
to
yeah,
lose.
yeah.
And you just, like...
Yeah.
And the, like, Run Rabbit.
Yeah,
Like, he just uses music. In
It's
such
it's
an
he
effective
he
way.
does a good job with all that.
Ducky McQuacks, welcome, my friend.
Hi,
Yeah.
Ducky.
I don't know if you've been to one of these in the past. We've done this for like fucking 5 or 6
I think 5 years, yeah.
Yeah, we do this once a year. So hell yeah, man. Good to see you back here.
Yeah, welcome to the party.
We are partway through our best of 2019, and then after this, we're gonna do our best of the decade. This is gonna be a long day.
Yeah, just hang loose.
Okay.
But let me tell you something, Nick.
Yeah, tell me.
Are you having a good time?
Yes.
Number 6, Uncut Gems.
Whoa!
The Safdie brothers follow-up to Good Time, and I don't know if you've seen this movie yet, but they did a movie
I
a
haven't
couple
seen
years.
any other movies. No.
Oh, you gotta check out Good Time.
Okay.
Good Time and Heaven
With
Knows.
Robert Pattinson?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm aware of that, and I've wanted to see that because
it's
of him.
I like that a little bit more than Uncut Gems, just a little bit more, but it's still like it's anxiety-inducing and incredible. So Uncut Gems, number 6.
I heard Safdie, and I was
Yeah.
like, yep.
Yeah, so Safdie brothers, starring Adam Sandler.
So, Nick, you saw this like 2 days ago, right?
I saw it on New Year's Eve for my mom.
Oh, okay.
So it's about this guy named Howard Ratner, played by Adam Sandler, and he's just keeps gambling away his life. He's taking these big gambles. He's like, pawning off or loaning off this Celtics ring from Kevin Garnett. He's like, he's putting his life on the line just to try to get this big ultimate gamble in the end, and it just escalates and escalates and escalates, and it's got like a tremendous supporting cast of a lot of non-actors and
Man, yeah.
old
goddamn,
actor and
what's his
older
name?
actors. The
basketball
Weeknd?
player.
oh
The Weeknd too. But
oh
yeah.
Weekend Kevin Garnett.
God, he's great.
He's great. Never acted
Like,
before.
Right?
He's great.
I know.
Oh, yeah, Kevin...
He's
He'd
so
never
good.
acted before? He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
in
He's
this
just a
movie.
basketball.
So when I did my DGA voting, I can vote up to 5 people. I put the Safdie brothers at number 2 for me, just because it's tremendous the performances they got from a lot of first time to non-actors, and the
Yeah.
performances that they got from veteran actors like Adam Sandler. So it's such a impressive range of direction those
Yeah.
brothers have. And
I mean... Oh, go ahead.
no, I mean, what do you say?
I was just going to say, the scene between Adam Sandler and Kevin Garnett at the end of the movie when
It's
Kevin
super
Garnett
good.
goes into
Or he goes,
his
"This is how
office.
I win."
Yeah, it's the "this is how I win" thing.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how this movie manages to just put you in this guy's headspace where you start to rationalize all of his. You're like,
yeah.
you're
Yeah,
just like,
that's true.
yeah, okay, so if he pawns the ring, then he can get the money back to do this, and then he can get the other ring back, and
But then
he
he
can
keeps, yeah.
and then you're like, wait,
gonna
what
be
the
great,
fuck
yeah.
am I doing?
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's terrific in it. Yeah, The Weeknd, Keith, like everyone's batting out of 10, and I never got more stressed out about 2012 playoff game, and
Right?
you know, the most
incredible.
The
Yeah.
most stressed I was in this entire movie was in the auction.
the auction.
I was in the auction, like-
with Judd Hirsch. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but just the idea of like he's just like banking so hard on this thing, and you're just like, oh god. Yeah.
It's a terrific film. Soundtrack's amazing. Shot by Darius Kanji, I think. He shot a lot of Fincher's early films.
Okay.
He's terrific.
Ducky McQuacks, Fighting with My Family fucking rocks.
Yeah, it's a goodie.
that trailers for that made it look so bad, but everyone says it's good.
It's good. It's good.
It has. I agree with Adam's review. It's so much better than any film with a WWE logo at the front of it has any right to be. Like, it's amazing.
Okay.
Shelby almost dropped tear at the end.
Yeah.
I think I did.
see
I
that.
think
It's
I teared up at the end.
It's really good. Florence
Florence
Pugh.
Pugh's fucking year this year.
That was like the big first movie where people were like, "Oh, who's this lady?" And then she did what, Midsummer, and then something else.
She did Midsummer, Little Women. I think it was just Midsummer, Little Women.
Pretty
In the
fucking
middle
good year.
of that, it got announced that she was in Black Widow.
Oh
the
yeah, so
Black
she's just
Widow
had a great
trailer
year
dropped,
overall. Yeah, so good for her.
She's also dating Zach Braff, which is weird.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
So she
You like who you like, I guess.
someone on Instagram
choice.
commented on her photo with her,
And she was like, "But he can get it."
"Yeah,
I
he still got it." And I was like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
Okay,
If they're happy, that's
Yeah.
what matters, man.
Uncut Gems, a beautiful film.
Uncut Gems is.
Oh, and let me just stress, I love the opening credits sequence where we go into the fucking
Gem and come out of a colonoscopy.
Incredible filmmaking. And like the logo, like the title for Uncut Gems in this weird kind of 90s fucking font thing.
Yeah.
This weird pill, like little... Fucking... These guys are the new Scorsese, let me tell ya.
Yeah, the whole
Yeah.
the score and soundtrack stuck out to me more than any other score.
Yeah.
Because I would think with it was a very deliberate choice, but like kind of like the synthy technos, but it's like it's not a lot of like, I don't know, the music isn't really. Yeah, the music isn't really anxiety inducing. It's for the
weird.
whole movie. Yeah.
No.
It reminded me of some other soundtrack so heavily in a good way, and I can't remember what it was, but I was noticing the music the whole movie. Maybe I don't think so.
It's very.
It reminded me of 1970s films, but like it definitely like if it reminded me of Serpico a lot. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah. Anyway.
Hey, my number 6 best movie of the year is Uncut Gems.
Well, let's just
Keep
keep
going, baby! I want to give a shout out to Idina Menzel.
She's
because,
great.
yeah, she.
Oh, that was Elsa?
Yeah, it's Elsa.
Yeah, bruh.
Yeah, I know. Weird context to see her.
Broadway
It's
girl.
Oh,
awesome.
that scene where she's just like, "You fucking gross."
Yeah.
It's so
Yes!
good.
She made. I mean, obviously, alongside everyone. All the appearances the actors made a lot of wonderful, tiny choices.
Yeah.
And like Idina Menzel, just when she's talking to him, every time she's talking to him, you can perfectly see how she's feeling and what she wants to say all over her face, and with the way she kind of looks away and the way she'll raise her hands without even speaking. And obviously, they're all like that. Yeah, man. The fucking the way it ends is. I mean, it's perfect.
You see it coming, but you don't see it coming.
Dude, okay, so yeah.
What I'll say is
Well,
that
yeah,
I think this
yeah.
beat out Nightcrawler for the success story of the century. Because, like, he wins! He wins! Yes, in a grander scheme of things, he loses. But he wins.
Be very
He wins
careful
for
for people
about-
who have not seen this film yet.
Yes, you're right. But yeah, so the way it ended, the way the big climactic, thing that happens, I have not heard a louder audience reaction to something in, I think, years. Like,
the last time
my
was
whole
Inception for me,
crowd
yeah.
fucking yelled. And it was,
yeah.
it was
Oh, yeah?
great.
That's
I
awesome.
literally
yeah,
jumped
yeah.
in my seat. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Because it's
I
so
love it.
fast.
it's so fast.
Yeah.
And exactly, that's realistic. Like
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah,
way
it is.
Everything about this movie is so painfully realistic. Oh, not this movie.
They set a great movie
haven't
though.
seen that movie.
I'd say everything about Good Times also fairly.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
This is their wheelhouse that they play in, is like gritty, gross.
I would recommend Heaven Knows What big time for sure. And then
Okay.
yeah, it was like the film before Good Time.
Yeah, that was the one that kind of broke them into the more
That got him
mainstream.
more into going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doug Quack's worst movies of the year were Hellboy, Glass, and Dark Phoenix. Yep.
I liked Glass.
I
but,
also like Glass, but it has issues.
It's a Glasserpiece.
Yeah.
I
First,
liked half
first
of it,
name
but
Mister,
hated
last
half
name
of it.
Glass.
Yo, Dex FN. Yeah, man, I've been sick for a really long time, so I haven't been streaming. But we've been live for 2.5 hours, and we got a long way to go. So
Not bad for 2.5
Matt,
hours.
We don't have that long to go. We're doing all right. My number 6 of the year, and this is a movie that I absolutely knew from the second it was announced, from the second I saw a trailer, I absolutely knew I would love, and it's one of my favorite movies of the year, and it's one of the most raw experiences I've had in a theater in a long time. My number 6 is Honey Boy.
Yeah. Yes.
It's fucking good.
Yeah.
Honey Boy is like being inside of a raw nerve for 2 hours.
Yikes.
Good way of putting
Like,
it.
it's, somebody described it, a lot of people have described it as Shia LaBeouf experiencing a therapy session on film for 2 hours, which is accurate, but the performances in this movie, the emotional weight of this movie is...
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Dex FN.
Said we're interesting.
Oh, we try, thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, continue.
It's just so... I mean... Obviously, Shia LaBeouf is an absolute powerhouse in this movie, to the point where, and this is not an experience I've shared with a lot of people, I forgot he was Shia LaBeouf for a while.
It's nice. It's
Because he's just such a character up on screen. This kid is tremendous.
Yeah.
He's had a good year too. He's in Ford v Ferrari.
He is in
Oh,
Ford
nice.
vs. Ferrari. Adam tried to be like, well, see, he had a better life because he went on to Ford versus Ferrari, and then we saw Ford versus Ferrari together, and I was like,
Some dad issues going on.
better
there.
life? It's just such, and I think that is so accurate. And it's this movie that he's written about himself that he's in, and it's devoid of any and all ego. Like, it's... You really feel this absolute honest portrayal, and he, unfortunately, he does shine, but just not as bright as the rest of the cast. But Lucas Hedges' work to try to essentially become Shia LaBeouf is insanity. Like, it's obviously, you know, it's Lucas Hedges because you're just like, he's just got such a look to him.
Right.
But
But,
the amount
yeah.
of work he's putting in to kind of step into those shoes
Yeah.
is
It's remarkable, especially from Lucas Hedges. Like we've grown up with Shia LaBeouf that we've noticed the mannerisms, but when you see Lucas Hedges embody it, it's like incredible work. Lucas Hedges is great.
yeah, I mean, it's a fucking powerhouse of a movie, and it's so tragic, and I would say I've gotten in a lot of arguments with people about this, but I would say it's also, there's an incredibly hopeful nature to it. I really think the end of it...
I like the end a lot.
The end's phenomenal.
I love it. The end.
I had to explain to somebody that the end of the movie was a metaphor.
Mm-hmm. I mean, oh, did they really think that?
Yeah.
Who was? Nah, tell me off, Mike.
You don't know.
Oh, okay. That's
Um,
fun though. It's hilarious.
Uh,
I was thinking it'd be biscuits. He's like,
No, it
and,
wasn't.
And then that thing happens at the end.
no, it wasn't Biscuit. But yeah, it's a great movie if you haven't seen it yet. I mean, it's also very much not for everybody. It's a tragic movie. It's incredibly upsetting. But it's... God, Shia LaBeouf is a fucking powerhouse in it. And he's also had a great year. Because
Peanut
he's
Butter
also
Falcon?
great
Yeah.
in Peanut Butter Falcon, which
Yeah.
is a surprisingly sweet movie.
Right.
But yeah,
Remember him in that movie, Fury?
I haven't seen Fury.
Fury.
Actually.
Oh, dude, check out
Fury
Fury.
is actually one of my top favorite war movies.
Yeah,
Like,
it's great.
Every time I think about it, I'm like, God, I fucking
It's
love
by
that
David
movie.
Ayer, but it was before he was shit.
Right.
Because I think at that point had just made End of Watch too, and
That
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was at least for me the movie where Shia. That was the first time I saw him like do something like that. That was super
Yeah.
dramatic after Transformers.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
I
because
think
that
might
was
have been
right
it,
around
too,
where
yeah.
he was like...
Kind of done with Transformers, I think.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Is anyone looking forward to A Quiet Place 2? Actually, yes. I thought the trailer looked pretty cool.
I haven't watched the trailer yet. I'm kind of just waiting to see it up on a screen.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
That's a good point.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like more of the same, and I like the first one a lot.
Yeah, Quiet Place is a good movie.
Yeah.
I think
good flick.
it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what they do with the sequel. So I mean, they got plenty to play with. I think.
Alita Battle Angel slams.
Yeah.
It was in my top 10 for like half the year. It's so good.
Yeah, I guess I would say I have some technical problems with it, but I do enjoy it a lot. I think the lead lady who plays Alita is super lovely and does a wonderful job. And I love the fact that they stuck to the horrifically bleak way that story goes. But yeah, Alita was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he grew up, dude. Boys all grown up. All right, that's you, baby.
Yeah.
I'm digging the sweater, by the way.
Thank you. I forgot I had sweaters, so I just started popping them again. Let me just pull this up real fast. Because I'm forgetting everyone's director's names. Sorry, 2 seconds. Where's this from? Sorry, it's a foreign film. Okay.
Guys, Bitcoin is exploding.
I don't think I would venture a safe guess that none of us have Joker on our list because
I have actually not seen it.
Yeah, Nick hasn't seen it. I have some moral issues with the film. Joaquin Phoenix is phenomenal. I think he deserved the award that he got last night and will probably continue to get. He's a great actor, but
I think yeah, Joker has it looks nice. It has a tremendous performance from Joaquin, which will probably end up getting the Oscar for, and I think the score is awesome. But I think writing wise, it's a bit
ham-fisted.
and ham-fisted, and I think it's kind of a more shallow version of Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Which, and I guess it's supposed to be an homage to that work, but it's like...
yeah, it is. And I'm not trying to shame anybody who...
Check out Taxi Driver.
Yeah, you should see Taxi Driver.
And King of Comedy, because those are the big influence on those films.
Yeah.
And they're solid films.
Yeah. I'm not trying to shame anybody or making anybody feel bad for liking Joker. It just very much was not my kind of movie. Yeah. Brightburn was
This year?
Was that this year?
That's this year.
Why did that feel like it was last year?
Like 5 years ago.
I think it falls apart a little bit at the end, but also when it falls apart a little bit at the end, you just get to watch like a 8-year-old flying through people, which is kind of sick.
That does sound pretty sick.
But yeah, it's all right. I think it's probably like smack dab in the middle of my list for this year.
My number 5 is a film from Colombia called Manos.
I just heard about it.
Yeah. It's directed by Alejandro Landes, and it is about these group of teenagers who are kind of in this Lord of the Flies-esque story where there's a war happening around them, and they're kind of like these child soldiers, and they're kind of like living by their own laws. And as the film progresses, just more chaos and unbalance with their law starts to unshackle, and it becomes very militaristic and sinister as the group starts to kind of fall apart. And it is a fantastic survival story. Apparently, one of the actors in this film is like the kid brother in Hannah Montana. That guy, he's the kid brother in Hannah Montana.
Oh.
I think he's going down the Shia Labeouf route. But,
Well, he's the kid from Kings of Summer.
Oh, you're right. Wow, I didn't recognize him. Wow, holy fuck. So terrific cast overall. Everyone, like all the teenage actors, turn in a tremendous job. They don't go by their real names in the movie. They go by code names. Like one's named Rambo, one's named Wolf, one's named Dog, and it's just kind of like the loss of identity. And it is a really well shot, intensely hyperactive, anxiety driven film. Like at any moment, like there's scenes where the kids are just like they've been partying all nights on the island, and they're just they have like these AK-47s that they're just flinging around and like shooting in the air, and it's just like at any moment you could think like one of them is just gonna shoot someone else. It's always tense, and it's just it's a thrilling experience to watch. I was just glued to it the whole time.
Is the story just kind of about them coming into conflict with each other, basically? Or?
Pretty much, yeah. And a lot of it is like conflict that from the outside world starts to kind of like hinder onto them, because they stay for a good chunk of the movie they're on this island, but then war starts coming towards their way, so they have to migrate to a different part of outside of the island, and like the rules and logic of their battalion starts to kind of fall apart, and it's a bizarre, awesome kind of like it's like Lord of the Flies meets Apocalypse Now vibe. It's awesome. It's great.
That looks pretty sick.
It's pretty wild, and the music is done by Micah Levy, who did the music for Under the Skin and Jackie.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's got an awesome score too. So it's great overall. Love it.
Nice.
Hell yes. Oh man, my number 5 is I mean, historically, I don't know. Historically, I don't think I would have put a movie like this up here this high, but times are changing. My number 5 was The Irishman, because historically I've not been huge on Scorsese. His style, like obviously his movies are wonderful, but just to my appeal,
I
not
get
quite
that.
up my alley. But however, this was incredibly up my alley, and I don't know. I just really don't have much else to say about it. The one thing I did want to point out that we didn't talk about was, or that I didn't mention was, the scene very close to the end where Frank Sheeran is looking. He's choosing out something to buy, and he's looking at the wall.
Yeah.
It was in that moment that the weight of everything that had happened to him kind of all at once hit me, and I just fucking started sobbing. And I actually didn't cry. I don't think I actually really cried much at any movies this year, but that scene just fucking wrecked me. And it was like all the weight of, again, Robert De Niro's face acting, but obviously acting in general. Yeah. But like when he has like two opposing characters who are individually coming to him and be like, you need to tell this guy this, you need to tell this guy this, and slowly he's just like, dude, come on, man, can we please try to work this out? And he's just so fucking sweet, even though he does horrible things. Yeah. It's just it's wonderful in the way it conflicts your feelings, because you know, these people choose these life, and they get everything they fucking deserve, because, you know, you can't, I don't think it's fair to view them as either wholly evil or definitely not wholly good. Yeah. But also there was a lot of shit, like all this stuff that Frank Zappa, like, I knew that he was a very influential part of kind of like the East Coast.
Jimmy Hoffa, you mean?
Thanks, Jimmy Hoffa. Yeah. That he was a big influence, and kind of that his powers, while you know, a lot of the point were used for violence and doing really awful things, that when it came down to it, he was a man of the people and the people around him, and the people around him really respected him and felt that he was genuinely doing a lot of wonderful things for the community despite the other horrible things he was doing. So yeah, I don't know. It's you feel it's a lot of feelings. It's a lot of feelings for a movie that usually I would say you're meant to detach emotions, especially in a Martin Scorsese movie. Like I would say Casino, Goodfellas. I would say, like, you know, they're entertaining, but when I watch those movies, I just kind of automatically detach myself emotionally. With this movie, you're not supposed to do that. You are really supposed to feel for them. And yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a gangster crime movie that did that this way. So yeah, it's fucking beautiful and so goddamn tragic. I cried so hard.
Scorsese's king, bud.
Yeah,
he's great.
I guess so.
Alright, where are we at? 5 still.
Cool. Alright, so my number 5 for the year is Bong Joon-ho's Parasite.
Yeah!
Oh, baby! Other than Snowpiercer, this is the first Bong Joon-ho movie I've seen
Bruh,
you gotta watch
you,
The Host.
You gotta
I
watch
know,
Memories of Murder. You gotta watch Barking Dogs.
Yeah,
Do
I'll
Not
watch
Bite.
them all.
You gotta watch all of them.
I'll watch them all. But this movie's
Mother, yeah.
This movie's phenomenal. Mother? No,
No, the other
different
mom.
mother.
I'm joking.
Different mom. Different mom.
This movie's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's and again like surprisingly funny.
Yes.
I think it's but it's just like God, just the montage of them completely infiltrating these people's lives
it's
is
incredible.
phenomenal. I mean, the acting in it's amazing. The dad is top notch. Like he's
The dad is the usual actor for that director too.
yeah, he's phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I don't have that much to say about the movie in all honesty. I think it's just like a really straightforward, phenomenal movie. I think the way it deals with class is
Poignant, to put it lightly.
poignant, to put it lightly. Well, because I'm stealing this from Adam, but it's totally true. I had no idea what the movie was when I went to go see it. So I really thought it was going to be about like some sort of parasite, like taking over.
Actually,
this
I thought the same thing.
Turns out the working class is the parasite.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. You know that the whole where they lived, that whole alleyway where they lived was a completely built set, and
Oh, I
the,
believe
and
that.
the flooding scene was 100% legit. Just yeah, and the just the mansion they lived in was 100% designed.
Built, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Bong Joon-ho himself had a huge part in like specifically actually like designing and building the house. And God, I love that man. He's my favorite.
So,
director.
but it is a real house.
That they built,
Yeah.
yes, they
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
like.
yeah.
Or did they build it or did they use it?
They
I think
built the house.
Okay.
But they
So they built the
referenced it
house
on-
and they fabricated the apartment.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, God, just the scene of her sitting on the toilet as it's just spewing sewage water out
Awesome.
and just
Yeah.
chain smoking
Yeah.
is so fucking good.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
There's no he kind of stands in his own league, but if I had to compare him to an American director, it would be Fincher or Hitchcock. He just does it. He just emphasizes that style and and filmmaking so well.
Yeah.
Well, this will pop up more, so
Uh,
let's just
yeah.
leave it there for now.
You're very much right, because my number 4 is Parasite.
Wow!
Well, shit, same kind of deal.
Well,
It's
shit,
like,
it's a good ass movie.
It's fantastic. It's definitely like one of his best films. It's interesting with him as a filmmaker because I watched The Host years and years and years ago, and it's been awesome to see his journey from that to this to be an acclaimed like. He might get Best Picture for this thing. It sounded like
Yeah, I'm curious. Because you
so.
watched The Host because it was a kaiju movie.
No, I watched The Host because you showed me it.
Yeah,
Okay.
And
that was the preeminent. But I fucking
Yeah.
saw that movie in like 2009.
Yeah.
and I've been on
Yeah.
the Bong Joon-ho train ever since.
yeah, he opened me up to a bunch of foreign films, and he was the first guy. Mick was the first guy to introduce me to Bong Joon-ho, and then I didn't know it was like kaiju film or anything like that. But it's he's got such an interesting filmography. But like this movie in particular, it's just so well crafted, well detailed, and of course its twists and turns are out of this world. And I love the actress that plays the mother here. This mother actress is incredible.
Oh, she's
dude.
so good.
Yeah.
Every single one of these.
They're all
actors.
tremendous,
and they
in
all
many respects.
they all have like unique personas to their characters too.
Oh, yeah.
Despite it being such a big cast, they
Yeah.
all have plenty of time to be very fleshed out.
Yeah, and I usually don't like movies about class because I feel it's so obvious how they do it. But the way that he examines this is so unique and palpable.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
Oh
it's a
god,
great
the
film.
peach fuzz scene is
It's
so
incredible.
good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Where the
that whole
plotting with the
sequence.
peach fuzz.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
But and yeah, the editing's a huge factor into this
Yeah.
too. With like that montage and
Dude,
It's so good.
the editing in the part where you have a partial glimpse of someone's head.
yeah.
You know what shot I'm talking about? There's I don't want to.
When the guy comes. Oh, that's freaky as shit.
That's
haunting.
into my
yeah.
goddamn
Yeah,
mind. It
yeah.
was so fucking scary.
Yeah, it's spooky, and you know it's coming. Yeah.
And but what's so wonderfully fucked up and brilliant about that is that like obviously, so the little kid who has the fear of the house. Yeah. We know why he has the fear of the house, but everyone else is just like, oh, it's just a silly thing. But it's like if you were actually that kid and you really saw that, like. And that would fucking ruin your entire life.
And then at the end of the movie...
You would not be the same person.
At the end of the movie, when he sees something like that again, it's fucking haunting.
Yeah.
It's awesome. That movie rules.
Yeah.
Okay. Is my number 4 up?
It is.
And
it's Parasite.
Oh boy, guys! Are you ready to talk about not maybe my favorite movie of the year, but the objectively greatest piece of cinema that could possibly come out? Detective Pikachu!
Oh,
baby!
Oh my god.
It's so good!
No way.
I fucking love this movie, guys.
Let me just
Holy
scroll
shit.
all the way down my list to find Detective Pikachu.
Detective Pikachu!
Want you to know it's better than
That's
Uncut
all
Gems and The Irishman.
No. Okay, I do not consider this better than any of these movies.
I'm not gonna judge it, but this is how I had to do my decade. Was I was like, if I try to think about what's objectively the best movie of the decade, I'm gonna lose my mind. So I was just like, I'm just gonna pick the movies I like.
That's why I
from the
started in
decade.
July and was
It
like,
makes it more
fuck this.
interesting if we do it that way.
Yeah.
So no.
I'm so
definitely-
excited because I have not talked to anybody yet who really loved this movie.
Oh
So
really? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, you know, the story's contrived. It's, however, I want to say I wouldn't say there's anything like overtly bad. There are no like holes in the story. It all like flows well. But okay,
Sure.
Why am I talking about this movie? Because there's fucking Pokemon in it, guys.
I know,
There's
we know.
Fucking cute ass Bulbasaurs. There are
Yeah.
cute ass Squirtles.
Yeah.
There's a big ass fight between a Charizard and a Pikachu.
That's
baby,
even
Yeah.
great.
No baby Pikachu though.
There's the fucking intro with the Cubone. What are you looking at?
I'm looking.
Oh,
I
where
found
it is.
Detective Pikachu on my list.
What number is it at?
Oh God.
You gotta put the rankings.
Hey, I think it's better than The Lion King. If that helps.
Great.
That's true.
I thought it was better than the Ugly Dolls movie too.
No, but
I
mean,
think it's better than Running with Beto.
good. That's a very specific movie that everyone watched.
Yeah, for sure.
That everyone can compare it to.
All
No,
right.
I mean, okay, I'll just, to wrap it up, it's a completely personal bias. Like,
Yeah,
all of
totally.
us grew the fuck up with Pokemon in one form or another. But for me, I remember being fucking 7 or 8 years old, and my parents giving me the Game Boy Color version of Pokemon Blue version.
Sure.
And it was at a point in my life where I remember there being words in the game that I didn't know yet.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of text to get through, and it's hard if you're a little kid.
You're
Yeah.
speeding through it.
But if it's your first game, you have no idea how to get through it. Like, it's complicated.
Oh,
Point
right,
being,
right.
like, it like the fucking Pokemon games taught me to read better. Like, they
Yeah.
improved my video games in general. But
Right.
and everyone has super personal, lovely attachments to it. I do not care for Ryan Reynolds, actually. So it's kind of surprising this is this far up because I don't think he did a bad job, but I would have strongly preferred they just got a Japanese woman to do,
Or Danny DeVito.
Yeah, sure.
Danny DeVito for Detective Pikachu
I mean,
too.
I think I might have enjoyed that more too, but
But then it would have been weird with the reveal at the end.
yeah, this is
we can't spoil
Oh,
Detective
yeah.
Pikachu.
Damn
I
it.
can't spoil Detective Pikachu for my stupid joke.
But
It's
yeah,
I think I've
it's-
heard the joke too.
No, it's not that joke.
Okay.
But yeah, I would say. Wait, actually, I'm curious. I would want to watch maybe the Japanese dub version. Of this.
Oh, maybe that's
that.
Oh,
that
wow.
might make me love it even more. But anyway, yeah, it's a total comfort.
Rewatch
movie.
and find
it's
out.
It's totally nostalgic.
Yeah.
It happens.
I have such a huge. I had a fucking blast the whole way through. I got teary eyed just at the fact that this is something I've waited for my whole life. So
That's
you know,
fair.
it's
That's
totally
fair.
personal. I
Yeah,
loved
yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's super cute.
Yeah. Don't worry, Jurassic World did the same for me.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's
My favorite movie going experience.
It was
man.
pretty
I
good.
loved watching
that's right.
Jurassic World.
Yeah.
I was like, this movie will be fine. Open up to Jurassic World, tears coming down, fucking clapped at the end.
It was a real experience.
The T-Rex coming out, I was like,
That did happen. My number 4 favorite movie of the year is Ari Aster's Midsummer because it fucks hard.
Yeah!
It's so goddamn good. I talked a little bit about the... Look, this is a breakup comedy of the year. Here's the deal. Is that this movie... I don't know what it is that
Keep going.
struck me so thoroughly about this movie. I've seen it 4 times.
Oh, shit,
I
dude.
saw it 4 times in theaters. 3 theatrical, 1 director's cut. I fucking love this movie. He left to go to the bathroom because he knows that I'm not going to say anything about this movie that I haven't said 30 fucking times already.
That's cool.
It's
Do it.
so goddamn good. Yeah, if you... So the only... Just so you know, Ducky McQuacks, the only way to watch the director's cut of Midsummer currently is to rent... I think buy it on the Apple TV app because they signed an exclusive deal. Of course, you can also... You know, maybe find some other way to watch it.
Some other internet ways. Which is the way I watch the
Yeah,
director's
I will say that I think that what was cut out of the director's cut was cut for a reason, and I do think that the theatrical version of the movie flows better and functionally works better as a movie, as does Ari Aster. He said that the director's cut is not a movie that he would have released aside
okay.
from
Interesting.
knowing that the fans of the film wanted to see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just such an amazing portrayal of a toxic relationship, and it's such an amazing portrayal of gaslighting, and it's such an amazing portrayal of these, like, you do kind of, like, they're horrifying, but you also kind of bond with this village,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you're just like,
Totally.
like, by the end of the, I heard somebody describe it really well, where they're like, yeah, maybe they're horrifying, but we're bad.
Yeah.
Like, and that is kind of what it's like, yeah, maybe they're things that they do are frightening and upsetting, but we're bad. We're the mean-spirited ones. Because, like, they care and they're sweet. And, like, the village is, like, you grow to bond so much with the village as you watch every American in the movie just be such a steaming pile of shit with the exception of her.
Yeah. Yeah, it has a interesting commentary on that kind of duality of everything in this culture seems very extreme to us. However, they are so close knit, and the people in this village clearly, like, they fucking love each other. Like, and like the whole thing with the people jumping off the cliff towards the beginning of the movie is shocking and horrifying, but yeah, when you think about it in the context of, like, they live their whole lives.
Well, and you think about
it's
it in
actually
the
kind of
context of, like,
beautiful.
they take control over when their life ends, and it's not
Right.
And
a
that's-
sad thing of waiting for somebody to die. It's somebody
Yes.
giving themselves
Yes.
back to nature and to
Yeah.
their community and to what they believe in.
Right.
And not artificially elongating life and just, like, suffering to be alive.
Yeah.
Which is very common in the
Which is the
developed
plot
world.
of The Irishman. No, I'm joking. But it's, and, like, obviously, I can't say this enough. I've shouted it about 8 times. I'll actually say it this time. Florence Pugh is the future. Like, it's, her performance in this movie is fucking unreal. She's phenomenal.
Oh, she's great.
And she's great in Little Women. Watch everything Florence Pugh ever does. She turned a WWE wrestler's biopic into, like, an amazing movie that also came out this year. Good. You should have a huge Midsummer poster in your bedroom.
Yeah, you definitely should.
It's so goddamn good that I sat through 2.5 hours of it 3 times, and I sat through 3 hours of it once. I literally, like, I didn't realize the director's cut was gonna come out, and I sat in the nosebleed balcony seats of the Cinerama because it was after the theatrical run, and they did like a summer, like, trippy festival.
Right.
And I was like, this might be my last chance to experience this film in a theater. And I got off a 12-hour day on set and went and sat in the nosebleeds at the Cinerama, like crammed between two other people, just because I love this movie so much that I was like, I want to experience it one more time before it's gone. And then a week later I saw the director's cut like fucking clown. But yeah, it's truly a great movie.
Oh yeah, wonderful.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I got. I'm gonna pee again because I drank
Yeah.
like
We'll
80%.
take
You're doing good. You're doing
We'll
good
take
so
a
far.
5 after these lists are done.
Yeah, we're
I'm gonna
almost
go
we're almost
outside
through
to
these
smoke.
ones. So these next three for me are like fucking heavyweights.
Hell yeah.
They're like fucking like they could be number one, interchangeable for their own kind of reason. But for the sake of doing the list and just kind of competing with one another, I would say that my number 3 is Jennifer Kent's The Nightingale.
Oh yeah. I've heard that.
Fucking terrifying, amazing revenge story. Takes place in a time when Tasmania was going under English infiltration, and they were kind of they were taking over a lot of like the Australian people that were there, and slavery was a huge thing going on there, and the movie it follows this woman who is under the ownership of an English soldier.
Oh.
Yeah, this movie's a fucking slapper.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's super upsetting. There are sequences in this movie that I can see why people would walk out.
Yeah.
It's very intense, but
Yeah,
the filmmaking,
We will talk about this movie again.
for sure. For sure. It's such a remarkable achievement in filmmaking. I think it takes a story about. It takes the revenge story and like it's a fairly straightforward story, I would say, about revenge, but then you add these other political elements.
I'd say it starts out. As a fairly...
I agree, and then it evolves into something else. And I love those type of revenge stories where the journey changes the perception of the revenge and the story, and you're adding these other elements. And she, I'm forgetting her name, but
they're both phenomenal.
She is tremendous. She's the best actress performance I've seen this year. She is phenomenal. Her name's Aisling Franciosi. Sorry.
Nice.
Yeah.
She's apparently in Game of Thrones, but
Oh, I don't know if she's in Game of Thrones, but this movie is haunting.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's like it's the same filmmaker who did The Babadook, and it's got elements of terror, but it's just unsettling the whole way through, and it's the raw anger and power that she brings into this movie is just remarkable. Some of the finest acting I've seen in a while, and she's just the whole movie is just extremely well done. One of my all-time favorites from this year and the last couple of years, I would say.
I think at least me and Justin saw Dolomite Is My Name.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good return to
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, it's a good return to standard Eddie Murphy. Like it was good. It was good to see him back.
Yeah.
Also, thank you. I think my list is the best list too, but that's because I made it.
It is a great list, man.
I try. God, this movie's just decimating.
Yeah, I've heard about the content of this movie, and
It's rough.
But I would say that this movie is and warning for anybody who's streaming this, it does. I don't know if you content warned already, but it is content-wise, it is an excessively upsetting movie, especially the first 30 minutes. Especially if you're sensitive to sexual assault, this might not be the movie for you.
Yeah.
But I would say that it's it so far surpasses what it started. It takes a movie where you're like, oh, this can only be so much, and it becomes, it transcends that and just becomes so much more.
And I think it's intense. Like the content that is within that first 30 minutes is intense, and it's not to not do it for a reason. It's doing it because this part of history is not explored as much.
You said it was about English colonizing Australia?
Yeah, Tasmania in particular. Yeah.
I think it's also the most effective portrayal of sexual assault that I've
if I had to do a list.
You mean in a way that it...
I wouldn't ever want to do it. But I would say that more than anything else I've ever seen, it just lands you straight in that headspace because it makes it... It somehow finds a way to make the act so minuscule and so like devastatingly hauntingly huge at the same time because it's literally just it happens and it's essentially in just like one unmoving top down close up and you're just watching it happen, but it's just a dead close up on the actor's face as you're watching. It's so deeply upsetting.
My favorite part of the movie is like when she's carrying a thing and then she's going to go see one of the villagers and she's asking where the soldier's at and she fucking like gutturally screams it and I'm just like, holy shit! And just like that rage just continues. Like it's incredible.
Phenomenal.
It's incredible.
And it's I think it's one of the best portrayals of colonization.
Oh yeah,
it's a fucking phenomenal.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Check her out.
Reese
Look
says,
who it is.
Detective Pikachu is a lot higher than you anticipated. No, it's not high enough. It's not high enough on anyone's list.
Nick is bad at Dark Souls.
Are you bad at Dark Souls?
I speedrun Dark Souls. I'm literally like one of the best players in the world.
So you're not...
I'm better than the average player, but I'm definitely not one of them.
I believe that. If it's any consolation, I have never beaten one.
Nick is
I
bad
feel
at
like
Dark
you...
Souls.
Have you played Bloodborne? Or...
You
played Sekiro!
I've beaten
We have talked about
Bloodborne and
that.
I've beaten Sekiro.
Okay, you gotta do it, man.
I have played Dark Souls 1 and 3, but I've not beaten any of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mr. Modesty over here, big time. I speedrun Dark Souls.
Well, there was a period of my life where I committed 2.5 months to
I have a full
speedrunning it. I was proud of myself.
I have a
okay?
full chest tattoo of the Firelink Shrine.
That's
no
a
big
beautiful
deal.
idea. You should.
I would love it. All right.
Okay, well, guys, let's talk about something that's even more upsetting than the Nightingale, especially because a lot of beloved characters get killed off. I'm talking about the biggest, best movie of all time.
Oh,
Jesus Christ. The best movie of all time, unequivocally, when only measured on the scale of, like size and how many movies it took to get here. Avengers Endgame, the best movie of all time.
Big flex.
Yeah.
Big flex. Avengers Endgame is better than The Irishman.
No, I like it more than The Irishman. It is not better than The Irishman.
The Russo brothers cracked the code.
Uncut Gems kind of looks like a steaming pile of shit when you take into account that part where the Hulk gives Ant-Man his little taco.
What?
There's a taco bit?
Yeah. Because the plane comes down and Ant-Man's trying to eat his taco and the filling of his taco blows out and then Hulk hands him a taco.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's a 3-hour
You're
long
like, sorry,
film,
I
right?
forgot this movie.
No, it's a good film. It's a good
it's good.
Yeah.
No,
It's no Spider-Man, but it's
no. I mean, in terms of like,
I mean, it's no Spider-Man Far From Home, but it's good.
I meant Spider-Man Far From the Universe or whatever it's called. Into the Spider-Verse.
Annabelle Far From Home.
Annabelle Far From Home. Endgame.
Endgame. Okay, go ahead, Nick.
Hi,
Sorry, we'll
Miranda.
shut up now.
Oh, Miranda's watched too. Hi, Miranda.
Hi, Miranda.
Thank you for joining us as well.
I hope your cats are there too.
Oh,
I
well,
care about.
probably.
Let the
animals.
cats type. Let the
Yeah,
cats
that's the
type.
cat type a bit.
What do the cats say?
I don't know. There's a lot to say about Avengers Endgame, but there's
Yeah.
also not because it is what it is. I'm just you get super attached to these characters. Especially like the amount of growth that Tony Stark did over the course of now like fucking 8 movies or something, including like obviously appearances where he's not the lead, but
him and Chris Evans are
and Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow gets
she's good in this.
she gets way more to do than she's ever done. So I mean, certainly I'd say none of the performances are phenomenal.
It's been the best bad year in the world for Scarlett Johansson.
What else? What other? Oh, Jojo Rabbit.
Well, she's in Jojo Rabbit. She's in The Marriage Story, but she's had a pretty horrible personal year in terms of, defending some sexual offenders and
she's a big
really pissing everybody
off.
Oh,
well, she worked.
Right. But people still love her.
Okay, I wasn't aware of that. Well, I fuck it. I'd remove this movie from my list. It's offensive.
So we'll just put Redacted.
It's still there, but Redacted. Yeah.
Nick's number 3 best movie of the year is Redacted. It's like The Report. We'll just cross it.
I watched it.
Yeah.
Shit, man. I mean, Avengers. It's really fun. It also has a lot of super emotional moments. I really love the great scene at the end where they're just at the funeral. Everything about it was just a really lovely goodbye to this era.
The arc reactor, fantastic send-off.
Yes.
There.
Yes. So, like, we have this, and we have Star Wars Episode 9, which are the two movies, the polar opposite movies where one of them did pretty much everything. I mean, I guess I'm just, like, pleasantly surprised and kind of shocked that everything in Endgame was good. Like, they made good decisions. It was super entertaining. It had heart, and it's enjoyable the whole way through. So I love it, man.
Reese, Miranda, and I saw this at the same theater. We just happened to walk in there. It's like, Reese, my main man.
Oh hell
Great.
Yeah, that's funny.
You got chainsaws in your trunk still?
Is Reese Nick is bad at Dark Souls?
Is what?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yes. Reese's Nick is bad at Dark Souls. You got it, right?
Yeah, I got it. No, I pieced it together.
Remember how it takes an insane amount of power to do literally anything with the stones, but Iron Man's able to just sneak them off of Thanos. Wow, don't pick apart my favorite movie, please. Remember how Captain America threw them as they're saying wait, what? How does he undermine the time? What? How does that undermine the time travel?
I do think
everyone's critiquing this movie now.
I mean, I do think they did Thanos dirty in this movie.
They did do Thanos
so
dirty.
Good. He's such a massive, he's the best part of Avengers Infinity War, and then they're just like, what if he just sit on rock?
To play devil's advocate, though, it's interesting to see a Thanos that's hungry still for power to be the villain, to come back.
Yeah, but then they just didn't do anything with him.
He fought.
Yeah,
he
sure.
did the thing.
I guess so, but I'm like, look.
I mean, I'm with you, but like, it was like, there's so much happening.
I'm like, look, you gave me like 38 minutes of Thor is fat jokes. Give me like 15 minutes of like young Thanos being
Thor's fat
fucking wild boy.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Body of the Greek god.
I loved when Captain America fought himself, and
he talked about America's ass.
No.
I love how you said
that. No, let me say it. Let me say it.
Hail Hydra.
No. That was good.
That was good. That actually
the part where where young Captain, where young Rogers is like, I can do this all day, and the other one was like, yeah, I know. I love that growth of in that moment we had a really nice, perfect, quick, cute little visualization of how Steve Rogers
he's been doing it all day.
Oh he's changed so much, and I just love that. Yeah, I know, it's great. Yeah, lots of cute stuff in that movie. You get it. Yeah, it's Avengers.
Better than The Irishman.
Better than all of the movies. Before it.
The joke's on you guys. This is Nick's number 3 through number 1.
Yeah, it's the first act of it, the second act.
All right, my number 3. Let me make sure I have to figure out which depressing, upsetting movie with Robert Pattinson this is.
Nice.
My number 3 is the Claire Denis film Highlight.
Yeah, that was great.
Because it's wild, and there's a fuck box, and that shit's hog wild. No, it's a phenomenal movie. It's super upsetting. Yet again, if you are incredibly triggered by sexual assault, this is also still probably not the movie for you. But it's really, really fucking good. It's like a phenomenal contained sci-fi film. I love the atmosphere that they built. I love their ship. I love the entire art aesthetic of the film. Robert Pattinson, as he always is an absolute powerhouse. Everybody is in this movie. Honestly, everybody in this movie is phenomenal. And the premise of it is bleak, but incredibly fascinating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have a ton to. I don't have a ton to say about this movie. I think it's an incredibly affecting movie. It's just it's extremely good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think this should be in my top 10, but it's one of those movies I saw a long time ago, and I loved it so much, but I only saw it the one time, and I really need a refresher.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember fucking loving it.
Did this
so.
end up on your list?
It got booted out.
It got booted out.
It would have stayed on there, but I think there's the acting from the daughter later on that I wasn't crazy
Is a
about.
little bit rough. Yes,
Yeah,
I'll
so
agree with that.
otherwise it
She's
would have been on
so good though.
The baby?
No.
Oh,
The baby was amazing.
Mia Goth?
Yeah.
Mia Goth is great. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about High Life. It's fucking insane. If you're up
gonna be a
for
great
it, it's a
Batman.
real fucking trip.
Dude, Robert Pattinson is going to be a killer Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
I'm
just
so
do
excited
it.
for that.
Yeah,
gonna be the
he's
best.
gonna be great. Also, let's stop shaming Robert Pattinson for making millions and millions of dollars at the start of his career, guys. We get it. The movies are bad. Most of us have at least watched them. I've watched them. They're bad. I know. He knows it too. He knows it more than any of us. He's doing his best. And he's gonna be a great Batman. Come on.
Yeah, truthfully.
Look at that face.
All right, let's keep going.
My number 2 is Marriage Story.
Nice.
I was wondering if this was gonna end
sad.
up on anybody's list.
I fucking
Yeah,
I'm actually,
you had a
I,
moment.
I fucking dude. I went to go see this at Crest, and within the first 10 minutes I started tearing up, and I was like, I'll be fine. And then as the movie went on, I was just devastated by just the storytelling, and just their performances is phenomenal. It's directed by Noah Baumbach, who did Frances Ha and a bunch of other great movies, and the balance between drama and comedy is so effective and relatable, and it's just like it has these devastating punches. Like there's a big fight scene between Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson that's like pure cinema. It's fantastic.
And now it's
acting.
a great meme.
Yeah, I mean,
He's
it is
yelling
what
at
it
the
is.
baby Yoda.
Yeah, it is what it is. But I think
I'm joking. This movie.
no, yeah, it's
I'm fucking
fantastic.
around.
I
It's a
love it.
great
I
movie.
love it. It's remarkable. And then I was totally good up until like the last 2 minutes of the film, and fucking waterworks. And Joey turns to me and I'm like, it's good, and then just start bawling and had to stay in the theater until everyone left, and like way past the credits were done, just because I was like trying to compose myself. It was fucking like shattering. It's a one, like the tagline is a love story about divorce, and it's like it's fantastic how they dissect the marriage and their characters, and it's just, it's tremendous.
I mean, everybody in the movie is phenomenal,
Laura
but
Dern,
they especially are.
Yeah, Adam Driver, like, I know it's got to go to Joaquin, but goddamn, he's incredible on this. He's incredible on this.
That's a tough one too.
Yeah. Adam Driver's, he's got such a fat career ahead of him.
Oh, yeah,
he's,
for
he's
sure.
gonna do wonderful.
Yeah. I love this movie. It's one of the best, like, I guess, rom-coms in a long time.
Is it actually?
It's kind of funny. It's really funny, but it does have those really brutal, shattering moments about like dissecting relationships.
It does have a surprising amount of comedy. In
Yeah,
it.
it's really funny.
Alan Alda's fucking.
He's great.
hysterical in it.
Do you think divorcees should not watch this movie, or should they watch this movie?
I think they should. I think
they should. Yeah, it's the same way that I think anybody in an abusive relationship should watch Midsummer.
Yeah,
I think this movie is great for if you're a child of divorce, if you went through a divorce, or you went through a bad relationship, or it's just. I think it covers all the bases really well. It's not a great first date movie. Do not go see it as a first date.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
If you're gonna do the like first date Netflix and chill thing, really please don't put this on, because this is a Netflix film.
Yeah. It's tremendous.
It's great.
Oh, Reese saw Marriage Story. Nice.
Oh, Reese, it's just so good. I fucking love this movie.
Oh, that line is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
I have no opinion about Bill and Ted.
Have you seen this movie?
No.
You
should
check it
really
out.
watch it.
I know. I just.
No, I get it. I have people in my life too that are like, I don't want to watch this movie because I know that it's great, but I also know it's going to be a big, big bummer. And
That's what both of us said. We were both like, I really want to watch this, but I also like really don't want to do that to myself.
It ends very
lovingly. I would say.
I would
that
say.
makes it more heartbreaking, though. That doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
To deal with
Yeah,
it.
you bawled through the credits, so I would be careful to be like, yeah, it's a really sweet film.
But man, it made me feel so good about going to the movies. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
And also, Randy Newman does the score for it, so you have Toy Story vibes all over the place.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
Randy Newman did the score?
It's fucking shattering, dude.
So it sounds like Toy Story? Are you serious?
Yeah.
What?
Dude.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There's 2 Steven Sondheim numbers.
Oh,
that literally
Really?
both
Hell
actors
yeah.
get to
Fuck,
do
I
a
didn't
Steven
know that.
Sondheim number.
Yeah,
Fuck
Adam
me.
Driver does.
Yeah,
Adam Driver
watch
does
it.
Something from Company. He does a song called "Being Alive," and it's
Yeah,
incredible.
that's heartbreaking.
Yeah,
It's
he
so
does
good.
the
Incredible.
entire
I'm
number.
gonna cry so much.
And
You guys gotta
then
watch it.
I don't remember what Scarlett Johansson's. It's like at the party. She's like at the end, but I don't remember what it is.
Oh, it's
I didn't see Instant Family because unfortunately it actually got released at like the very tail end of 2018, so it technically didn't count for the list. It's the like Mark Wahlberg. They adopt 2 kids.
I feel like I maybe remember that trailer.
Yeah,
remember this
I
movie.
haven't gotten around to it. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I haven't gotten around to it. I was gonna check it out, but me and Justin were in a contest to watch more movies, so I really tried to prioritize. It was an interesting year.
All
All right.
Number 2 for Nikki.
Wow, I'm the one who's gonna introduce the Lighthouse.
Oh baby.
Oh baby. Oh baby. Oh
I-
baby.
Maybe don't say too much, boo boo.
Yeah. I'll just.
Should we? Is it?
Well,
What are we doing?
I think. Well,
Okay, let's. Can we go talk
So-
in the kitchen for a minute, just for? Okay.
no, it cut. Well, is it your number 2?
Yes. So we're
go
about
ahead.
to have. Is it?
Well, yeah.
Like,
we could have just. It's alright. We could. You didn't have to spoil it.
sorry. But it's just like. I'm like, are we about to talk about
we all
this
love
3
it.
times?
Yeah.
Like, I was just merely trying to suggest, should we all just
I see what
put
you're
it all
saying, 'cause
out
it's
there
all
so we
gonna
can
happen.
talk about it
All right,
together in one
So your guys'
chunk?
number 2, my number 1 of the year.
It's,
Okay.
Yeah, the Lighthouse. That's what I was trying to do. I wasn't trying to
it
be
makes
a
sense.
huge
It makes
dick.
sense. It makes sense. No,
No,
no, no, no,
yeah.
no, no.
We still have a long way to go.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's the
we-
thing. Is
we're
I'm
not
like,
even
are
through.
we gonna spend 45 minutes
On the
talking about the
Lighthouse?
Lighthouse in 3
Yeah.
separate chunks when we
Right.
still have a full list?
One
to go through?
Lighthouse discussion. Go.
All right, I mean, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
You should probably go first because it's your.
yeah.
Because I stole your thunder.
I'll say that I can't recall from this year and maybe other like years prior of having such a
We got a no spoilers.
yes of
Oh,
course.
gotcha.
You got
It's
it covered.
almost impossible to spoil this movie because it's fucking nonsense.
Yeah,
so
that's-
don't worry.
We won't go
Yeah.
anywhere specific.
Yeah, the trailer gives you the gist of everything
Yeah.
very clearly. Like,
Yeah.
there's not a, it doesn't really have surprises in it, which I was happy about. Like,
Yeah.
nothing really like comes out of nowhere, you know?
Yeah,
It's,
I guess that's true.
Yeah. It's anyway. Okay, so yeah, the opening. I'll talk about the opening shot though,
It's-
which is
yeah.
honestly probably my favorite shot of the whole movie because, and that opening shot where it's the boat going away. And you
Oh
have
yeah.
the lighthouse horn blaring, and there's that kind of I can't remember what the music was, but it was something like that, right? And it was something very foreboding and kind of like
You're
crawling.
showing right now in the trailer.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, dial back in the trailer like 30 seconds because
Oh,
they
yeah.
just played the shot.
Yeah.
Okay, just start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably that one.
It's coming
It's
up.
not-
It's coming up.
It's like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the opening shot of the movie, and I cannot recall having a more like viscerally wonderful reaction to an opening shot.
Yeah.
And especially, and in that moment, I thought to myself, I acknowledged, I am so glad I get to see this in the theater.
But
because
yes,
and like that's the most shocking part about this movie is that it has this. What in modern terms we would kind of consider a small format or something that you would kind of
it's
think
4:3 and it's black and white.
But God, the way I guess it's just the way that the black and white melded with the darkness of my theater. You're just so goddamn in it from the first moment,
and it's a surprisingly big movie.
Yes.
For being
Yes.
shot in that format, like
yes. It is.
Oh God, Willem Dafoe's look. They're both great, but Willem Dafoe's a fucking powerhouse in this movie.
People talk about Ari Aster and Jordan Peele as like the guys that are going to like be the kings of horror. This fucking guy, Robert Eggers, is like fucking incredible work here with.
Yeah, this movie's
The
phenomenal,
Lighthouse,
but
yeah.
I hate The Witch. It's
Oh yeah, I
very
mean, but
weird,
like with the Lighthouse.
You hate it? You hate it? Or you just dislike it?
The Witch is very much not my movie, and I can look at The Witch and respect that it's an incredibly well-made movie that I do hate. I watched it a second time to make sure, because we watched Hereditary together, and it was my second time ever seeing Hereditary, and I was like, I like that a lot better than I remember liking it the first time. Maybe I'll give The Witch another try too. And I watched The Witch, and I was like, nope, fuck this movie. And so I really thought I was gonna hate The Lighthouse.
Yeah.
I was like ready to be in a fight with everybody for an entire year again, and then I was just like,
no, this movie's insane. Like everything just escalates and escalates into like drunken
It's
insanity.
it's like cosmic insanity.
It is. It really is. Yeah. And just like when they're like fucking dancing and like Robert Pattinson's going.
Oh my God.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And like Willem Dafoe is insane. Like the acting, the performances are out of this world. It's phenomenal.
And the way that like it does a beautiful job of displaying how like isolation and just awful living conditions can affect your emotional and like sexual kind of desires, because it's about there's very small moments that kind of touch on the idea of sexuality as a spectrum. Yeah. Because there's points where they're so desperate for affection
that they are affectionate towards each other.
Yes. Yeah.
And there are lines where they have moments where obviously they're so fucking drunk, but like, where they kind of have moments that are kind of like weirdly sexual or intimate, but they're acknowledging it. And it's it just, I really love
they're
the way
about
it
to
touched
kiss,
them.
and then sorry, I should be light.
It's not a big moment.
It's not a big moment.
There's just
everything you see in there's really no like surprises in the movie. There's no plot twist. I would say. So, like,
there's just a lot of homoeroticism going on there. Yeah.
That's a good goal, Reese. That's
nice.
Nice.
I thought
you can probably skip like the first 3 months of the year, but
I misread that as 2 movies a year.
No.
Oh, nice, dude. 2 movies a month. That's good.
This movie I just was filled with, and I'm a little bit concerned about myself because I was just filled with such a deep, visceral joy. This entire movie, I was just sitting there like,
yes.
Well, what did Mike described it really well. He said like you can feel the filth or something like
no,
that.
I said that it is the grossest movie of the year, and I want to bathe in
its
filth. Because I was just, it's a disgusting movie. Like, there's so much disgusting imagery, and the whole movie just feels dirty, but I was just like, yes, I love it. Give it. Okay, this is like, I'm gonna do like the minorest of spoilers. there's a part where he has like a bucket full of shit and he tries to throw it into the water and the wind blows it back up into his face and it's just
and he
like...
just like pauses and then like shrieks.
Yeah. It's so fucking good. The movie's insanity.
It's incredible.
It's the most joyous divulsion of misery I've maybe ever seen. It's so fucking miserable, but the whole time it's telling you should be having a great time.
Yeah. I don't really know what's scheduled for. I mean, Doolittle. He's just not a people person.
There's
But
that movie with Carey Mulligan and Bo Burnham. Where
She
gets
Promising
revenge.
Young Woman. Yeah.
Is that Carey Mulligan?
Yeah, it's Carey Mulligan.
In the lead?
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
I'm super excited.
I thought I recognized her,
That's
but
my
she
girl.
So what's it called? Something Young Woman?
Promising
It's
Young
it's called
Promising Young Woman. That's honestly might be my most anticipated movie right now.
I think that the rhythm section with Blake Lively actually looks pretty good.
What's that?
It's like the revenge thriller with her.
Shelby wants to see it.
Yeah, it actually like the trailer looks really good.
Yeah,
it just has the stupidest name in the world.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know a lot of.
Marvel's dead. None of that shit.
Yeah, I actually don't
It's an
think.
Angelina Jolie superhero film with Camille.
Yeah, I actually don't think Marvel has a release scheduled for next year.
Yeah, I kind of.
But it might. Is it
They
the
have Black
Eternals?
Widow.
Yeah.
And Eternals is November.
That looks
Yeah. Pixar's doing 2 movies in a year, I think, for the first time ever.
It's a Soul and something. Oh,
It's Soul and Onward.
Onward's
Chris
Disney.
Pratt. No, it's not. It's Pixar.
It's Pixar?
Yeah, they're both Pixar.
I don't believe it. Anyway, Lighthouse is the masterpiece of the
Birds
year
of
for
Prey.
me. Yeah.
Birds of Prey is next month.
What's Birds of Prey?
It's the Harley Quinn movie that we were talking about before.
Right. Yay.
In the Heights is next year.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
good. Yeah.
What is
Remember
it?
when he's in
actually
Star
looks
Wars?
very good.
Oh, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, Sonic! There
Look,
we go.
Here's
Yeah,
the deal.
Sonic!
Here's the deal. There's like 2 people watching us, but here's the deal: is we as a community have to band together and accept the fact that if we threw a fit about them redesigning Sonic the Hedgehog and they appeased us, we have to go see Sonic the Hedgehog now. We want to reward this behavior. It doesn't
true.
matter if Sonic the Hedgehog is a horrible fucking movie. We all have to go see it.
You're right. You're right. It's our duty.
It's our duty. We can't have thrown this fit and then be like, hey, thanks for doing that. And nobody shows up to the theater.
We'll be there. We'll be there.
I'll be there opening night.
Alright,
Oh, dude, Mulan.
Oh,
That
Mulan
trailer
looks
looks
fucking
great.
sick.
That does. that was
I was
so
surprised.
surprising. That looks good.
Actually.
Justin stands for Peter Rabbit too.
I do. I will be a stand for
Justin's
Peter Rabbit.
Justin's the only human being in the world who saw Peter Rabbit
It's
1.
fun. I don't know what to tell you.
don't know why it's getting a sequel.
I am a little I'm like, what? Do we really need sequels to this guy? But you know, everything
Yeah.
needs a sequel nowadays. Anyway, Lighthouse is fantastic, amazing. I'm very excited for Robert Eggers' future projects because it's always a sophomore film that's going to be very telling of where they go after that. I'd say. So, yeah.
All right.
Word. All right, Nick, what's your number 1 for the year? Guys, that was such a...
Wait, you guys should guess what my number is. Wait, it's...
Well, you already said Detective Pikachu and Avengers Endgame,
Exactly.
so I have
what
no
else could
fucking...
it possibly be?
Game of Thrones episode 8.
Game of Thrones season 8, episode 8.
What was a big thing?
It's not a surprise. My favorite movie of the year was Parasite.
Oh,
right,
fuck
fuck me.
It's not
Dumb as fuck.
You get it. So Bong Joon-ho has been my definitive favorite director for at least a few years now. I've hunted his films religiously, and they're all really wonderful. And I actually think this is my favorite of all of them. So yeah, it speaks volumes of a guy that I've been following for like fucking 10 years religiously, and it's just getting better and better. So
yeah.
Everything about this has his distinct style written all over it. It's so beautiful, and like I'm just looking at the angles in the background of like just the way it's shot and how he like follows the flow of the streets. Like he'll position like the flow of an alley behind someone's head, so the buildings are perfectly. It's just like it's just this meticulous, lovely craftsmanship where Yeah, like, and everything about, like, when they're in their apartment, it's so dingy and gross, but aesthetically it's gorgeous. And, like, similar to the Lighthouse, where the filth of it at times is very fun.
Yeah.
I think the final scene where the character at the very end grabs his nose. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The last time he grabs his nose.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's weird for you to refer to that as... It was just a weird moment for me, you saying the end of the movie, because there's like 35 more minutes of movie after that.
Yeah,
but
that's
like,
right. That's fair.
Yeah, I guess it is
A lot
sequentially
happens.
the beginning
Yeah.
of the end of the movie. I cried at the end of this movie.
It's tough. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah,
It's so
I don't blame
upsetting.
you. Yeah, and I think that, like, just Bong Joon-ho is such a master of that, because that gesture, because I'm pretty sure it was in slow motion, right? Where he grabs... I remember it being like, it's in normal motion.
It's
and
very... I think it
Yeah.
is maybe like 60 frames, not super
not
slow motion,
super
but
slow
just like a
motion.
little bit.
It's
and
emphasized.
it's like extreme close-up of him grabbing his nose.
And it's like that just... God, everything about that shot speaks volumes, that the fact that, like, what is happening in that scene, in that moment to those characters.
Yeah.
And the fact that that guy has the gall to where that's where his mental priority lies, was with covering his nose, speaks monumental volumes about what type of person he is in that one fucking gesture.
Yeah.
It's just because he did it earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
And Bong Joon-ho is a goddamn perfectionist about stuff like that, where there's such a beautiful, tragic weight of information in little tiny gestures and shots all over the goddamn movie. So, yeah, man, we talked about it a lot. It's perfect. I love it.
Yeah, it's a great
It's my
movie.
favorite movie of the year.
All right.
It was you, yeah.
Yeah, my favorite movie of the year is The Nightingale,
Oh,
because it's
good.
fucking haunting. It's just like, I walked into that movie being like, okay, it's gonna be this type of movie, you know, it's gonna be like this revenge story, and there's one moment that just speaks so thoroughly of this kind of like class warfare, and I just like, and the whole second half of the movie is so much about this. I walked out of the theater because I saw it at SIF, and I was just I was like speechless. I just didn't know. Like, it's such an affecting movie, and it's so powerful, and it's so... I mean, it's upsetting for a myriad of different reasons. It's such a poignant movie that the reason you're upset with it at the beginning is a completely different reason why you're upset with the movie by the end of the movie. Like, it's just like... And you're not upset with the... I was just upset with the world.
Yeah, right.
Like, it's... The performances are phenomenal. The story's amazing. It's... Yeah, it's... God, it's... I don't... It's been months, and I still... I saw this movie in, like, May. And I still can't fully articulate how I feel about this movie. It just, like... affected me in such a way that I just can't, like... I never ever want to watch it again as long as I fucking live. But it's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's really all I have to say. It's... God.
Yeah, terrific film.
It's devastating.
I might watch it.
Hey,
Well, A Marriage Story.
Hey, it's on Hulu for free. If you're trying to pick the less devastating movie, it's A Marriage Story.
Oh yeah, I know that. I know that.
Oh,
Right.
fuck yeah, live action Clifford the Big Red Dog, let's
Wait,
go.
what?
Jesus
Is that
Christ.
really happening?
Yeah, Ducky
Live
McQuacks
action?
laid out an entire year's worth
Yeah,
of the...
Really laid it down.
Oh, we're getting Halloween Kills this year.
We are getting Halloween Kills
Nice.
at the very end of this year.
Nice.
I think
And Venom 2, baby.
I really want Godzilla versus
Venom.
King Kong to be great, but my expectation is that it will be one of those movies that's just kind of a mediocre like,
It's by Adam Wingard.
gets pushed to the
so,
side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting anything fantastic from it, but I am expecting a good time.
Oh shit!
I think
Midsummer isn't on.
It was on his list for a while, and then it just got pushed out.
I pushed it back up though, up until like I was just like, well, there's other things, so you know.
You thought Midsummer was Garbo? What in the hellish fuck? How could you?
Oh, you don't like it?
I mean,
if I had to compare it to
happens.
Hereditary, it's like I like it more than Hereditary, but
yeah, not everybody feels that. I mean, Adam likes it less than Hereditary.
well, yeah, I know.
And
I know people prefer Hereditary over Midsommar.
Yeah,
which is
I
fine.
don't personally, but I definitely
Yeah.
know a lot of people who were not fans of Midsummer.
That's fair.
Shazam's good.
Yeah.
It's no Aquaman, but it's
I mean, well,
It's true.
how about
Aquaman's king, baby.
in the catalog of all the newer or recent DC movies, Shazam's near the top. I would say that.
it has Sam
It's
Raimi
fun.
spirits.
my
Yeah, it is fun.
It is definitely fun.
yeah,
It's pretty cute.
my fight for this year, and it did take most of the year, was finally convincing Justin to watch 2018's Aquaman, because it's great.
The action scenes are pretty surprising.
It's
I
just
had a
a
lot of fun.
surprisingly
They
fun
are.
movie.
Yeah.
I was just like, fuck no, I'm done
didn't-
with these fucking movies. And then I watched Aquaman and was like, wow, this is
Yeah, and it
incredible.
slams, and welcome to the jam.
I'm here, baby. I'm here to jam.
Dude, Jules Verne once said that if you unite 4 of
God.
the 6 realms, you become the ocean.
Once I got through that part, it was great all the way through.
All right, so should we take a? We're gonna take like a 5-minute pause.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we probably all gotta go to the bathroom and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna go smoke.
And then we'll go into our top 10 of the decade.
God damn, we're gonna be here till 11 p.m.
Let's do it!
Woo!
I'm excited. Oh,
no.
I have an entire pizza we could make if you guys are hungry.
I'm down.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Good sick food, right?
Yeah, I'll eat. Fuck
Pizza.
it.
But also, if you want like healthy food, I have like bananas and apples and.
No, I'll take the pizza.
Okay.
I'm not a healthy man.
Yeah, but your body would appreciate it because you're sick. Is all.
That is fair.
All right, I'm gonna pause the mic and we're gonna take a little 5-minute break, and we'll be back with our best movies of the entire decade. We're doing 100 each.